I think this is the last election. If Trump doesn't win, this is the last election.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. And I think people, and a lot of people are waking up and realize that have been lifelong Democrats. Guys like Bill Ackman, guys like Chamath.
Yeah, exactly.
Tulsi Gabbard switched over to the Republicans. Yep. Like, there's a lot of people who their whole life they've been left-wing, and they realize, like, I can't do this anymore.
You and I used to be Democrats.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It's nuts, man. If the Dems win this election, they will legalize enough illegals to turn the swing states, and everywhere will be like California. There will be no escape.
That is so insane.
This is the final. This is it. This is the last chance.
Has anybody tried to
push back? And I just want to, like, go out and vote. Vote like your life depends on it. Vote like your future depends on it, because it does.
Even if Trump doesn't win, the Defense Department and NASA are going to need a new arrangement for all their rockets and for all the multi-billion-dollar contracts Elon Musk's companies have with the U.S. government. The U.S. government is going to have to either, unwind from all of those contracts, or Elon Musk's companies are going to have to unwind from him. This is an untenable reality in national security terms, now that we know what we know about Elon Musk.
What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we, the people, choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing.
Don't you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
I come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good day today. It's probably going to be a shorter market open because I got to go vote. I hope you guys do too. I really do believe that it's important and that America's future depends on it. So let's make it happen. Also, let's just jump back over here and see how things are going election-wise, because that's going to be the big topic of the day. I'm listening to Anthony Scaramucci, and I'm listening to Vivek and a bunch of other people talk about the upcoming election and what's going to happen. It's always fun. Let's look here, though, and see Trump and Harris. We got a 0.1 Harris lead now in the popular vote. Biden was winning by 7.2, which puts her at a deficit of 7.1. Not a great number for her today. Again, Atlas Intel showing the most relevant, most accurate pollster, including from the last election, Shows Trump winning the popular vote by 1 point, which is an insane number and almost hard to comprehend. Who am I voting for? This guy. That's the guy I'm voting for. This one right here. Is that clear? Hopefully it's clear. But yeah, I mean, that would have been different 4 years ago, right? I voted for Joe Biden, but no more and never again. I've been exposed to too much truth to ever turn back now. So, but yeah, across all the swing states, it looks this way. If we look at poly market, it looks this way. We didn't get that 69,420 that we were hoping for, but it is finished up. I think I'm pretty sure poly market isn't even running anymore, and it looks good. It shows Trump winning by a large margin. Let me real quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and like this. Whatever. You guys put something on it if you like. I really don't give a shit. But yeah. So there's other stuff going on today too. Not that anybody cares. It's really all the election. Oh, Palantir though. Palantir did really well. I think that's relaying life back in to the markets and potentially for the entire AI play. If we hop over here, they're up 14% in pre-market. To me, this is probably the blow off top because we'll be heavy into the resistance zone. But honestly, the numbers they came up with were beautiful. So it's hard to deny that they did a great job and had another great quarter. Let me see real quickly. I think I got a few links on that. And of course, Amit is feeling a lot better, I'm sure, today. I don't know what to think about this, though. Meta is now working with Palantir to bring their Llama large language model into the U.S. government for defense and national security use cases. I don't know what that means, but it sounds frightening to me when Meta is working with the federal government for anything. But so that's interesting. Let me look down over here at the rest. And again, 30% year-over-year revenue growth, $726 million, 44% year revenue growth at $499. What is he? Oh, U.S. revenue growth. And then 39% year-over-year count growth, 104 deals closed at 1 million plus piece, 39% adjusted operating margins, $1 billion free cash flow guidance, 4.6 billion cash, no debt. I mean, they're good numbers. So PayPal's definitely having a good day today. And I am happy for all the people invested in it. Out of all the stocks I look at, this is one where, again, it fundamentally it looks like a great company. I don't know how it does. I think it still does well after the election, no matter what, when Trump wins, because we're going to need defense contractors, especially innovative ones. Trump made it clear in his last term that he didn't love the fact that we were spending a fortune on jets that should really be built for a fraction of the price, and that they might not be the best thing for us to be investing our money in. And he's probably right. But again, this cash pile, $3.5 billion in bonds, looks great. Net income, $134 million. I don't know if the PEs actually has this updated all the way. Oh, you know what? I might have to. Let me refresh real quick. Sometimes this is weird. I have to log out and go back in. Let me just do that real quick. 1 second here. If I do this again, then it should work. All right, let me bring it back over. All right, maybe that's not working, so we'll have to skip it for now. I'm not getting the updated image on it. But yeah, they had a really great quarter. And I think that's going to be good for the entirety of the market. Let's actually look at how things are doing today. Let me hop over here real quick. Oh, 1 second, too, while I do something. Just 1 second. Let me see here. There we go. That's better. Thank you. Turkish people support Trump. That's awesome to hear, bearish. If we got the bearish vote from Turkey, I think Trump's going to win. All right. Yeah, so look, today, I'm sorry, this isn't pre, we should put this in pre-market. Tesla up 1.72. I don't even know where Palantir is on here. Somewhere. Oh, wait, there it is. Little guy right over here. Up 14% on the day, looking good. Again, I think the whole market, today is in a decent bounce mode. What's the mug of the day? It's this one. It's that guy right there. It's the mug of the mug. That's today. But yeah, it looks like a decent day. It looks like a day to bounce. Let me look through comments real quick. The witch looks so happy to destroy America's best. Agreed. Mark Cuban is the worst. Chicken bro. Trey Gotti. Let's go, Jesse. This is it. Trump 2024, the last stand. I remember fighting with you, Trey, about your stances with Trump. And now we're going to be hanging out together, watching him win the election. It's a pretty weird transition for me. Alex Garcia, what a day team, looking for group. Daniel Dibb, morning boys. Mark Sanchez, let's go do this. Election in the bag, Trump. John Mahoney, looking for group. Come on, the Trump train. The Black Cat has a link. Let's see what this is. I personally come across many such YouTube channels. Random Islamic family YouTube channel suddenly posting 10 election videos in the last 12 hours. Someone is trying to make the commenters believe this is an easy win for Trump, and then the opposite happens. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not worried about it. It is an easy win for Trump as long as it's a fair election, and that's what I care about. And we've got X this time, so we can actually make arguments and show details of any election interference and anything that's fucked up that needs to be reported. So I'm very happy about what's happening right now. Daniel Dibb, don't think he has it for sure yet. Well, I mean, obviously he doesn't. People haven't voted yet. So that needs to happen. But the data overwhelmingly, if you look at the Hispanic vote, if you look at the black vote, if you look at the registrants, the party affiliation, how they're polling at national level, swing state level, individual topic level, all of it screams Donald Trump is winning this presidency by huge margins. Just in the national polling, there's a 7.1 disparity in Trump's favor in the popular vote across the United States of America. That is huge, considering Joe Biden in the final results only won by 4.5. So if we were to see that disparity, if we were seeing that kind of bias in the polling again, then Trump wins the popular vote by 3%, which would be an insane number. And I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying this is a completely different election this time around versus what happened last time. It's really not comparable. So all these anti-Trumper people, with Trump derangement syndrome, they're going to have to figure this shit out. Was there any carp video after earnings? I didn't watch it, dude. I've frankly been trying to just take it easy. I did not watch Palantir earnings. I'll probably do it later. I'm all focused on this. This is the only thing that matters to me right now. Username 6904. Do you think Hims bullish option today after their insane earning? Yeah, they did great too. I didn't even think about that. Let's pull that up real quick. Oh, yeah, they did great too. And their PE ratio is a little more favorable to upside. So, yeah, let's see. I mean, they're ready for a breakout, dude. Just look at this trend line. They got back above it after breaking down to the next fib line. And basically by doing that, they negated this this head and shoulders pattern because they already overshot it. And then it launched back up. That was beautiful in and of itself. But yeah, up 7.23% in pre-market. It's good to see. It's good to see some of this, man. It's really good to see multiple companies doing really well. And again, the measured move off this inverse head and shoulder, which it looks like it turned out being, right? We see that left shoulder, we see the head, we see the right shoulder is up here in the 40s. So this thing could fly, dude. It could really fly. What was the cure for Trump derangement? I think it was Elon Musk. It's probably been that for a lot of people. And I mean, I think for other people, it's Ron Paul. I think for other people, it's Robert F. Kennedy. I think for other people, it's Shanahan. I think for other people, it's Tulsi Gabbard. I think for other people, it's Vivek or J.D. Vance. But for me, it was having Twitter be purchased by Elon Musk, joining it, and then actually looking at the Twitter files and seeing how much I've been lied to, and just seeing a different side of the story, and then comparing it to what the mainstream media used to feed me, when I used to just stare at headlines and look at their junk articles all day. This is the problem I think Meet Kevin has right now is he's looking at Bloomberg and he's looking at mainstream media news and he's trying to ascertain the truth because he doesn't think X is where it's at. He doesn't put any time into it at all. And I think that's his biggest, that'll be one of his biggest regrets, at least in his investing career over the short term, is that he's looking at the wrong place. He's not finding truth. And if we're not finding truth in life, I mean, where are we? So I think it helped me find the truth, and I'll be forever indebted to Elon Musk for that. Forever indebted, as most of us should be. Poo Poo Train says, finally caught you live. Thanks for holding the morale of the ape army high. Happy to. Paul has a link here. Let's see what this says. Breaking, Assistant County Zach Shria has confirmed the full election results might take a few days to announce after Election Day in Maricopa County, Arizona. He says the candidates ahead might change after election night after days of counting, and that's normal. Yeah, I mean, again, they're totally going to try and steal the election. The problem is if they can't do this in every county, in every state, and there is a clear difference in voting this election, which we're seeing it in places like New Hampshire of all places. It's insanity. But if we see that, and if we see it all over the country, and then there's one or two states that are going to try and pull some funny business, that's going to be super difficult for them. You know why? Because we have, what did they say, 200,000 poll watchers right now the Trump campaign has, with over 500 lawyers in each swing state ready and willing to go after and prosecute to the fullest extent of the law anybody trying to steal this election. So they could do it. They can do it. They can definitely try and do it. But it's going to be hard as hell to pull it off this time. That's the key difference. That's what wasn't around last time. X wasn't around last time. People didn't actually believe the election was stolen last time because everybody who opened their mouth was immediately censored and slammed down by the 90% bias we see in mainstream media. So they could never find the truth. This time, it's going to be very clear. So, and I'm not even sure they can steal it. So it's going to be a hell of a night, guys. I hope you're all ready for it. I'm very excited about it. Let's look over and see what CNBC is talking about. I was watching Vivek and Anthony Scaramucci try and talk for Kamala Harris. He's a slick-tongued devil, but Vivek just tore him up like always. Vivek is a beast. Devin Smith, what was the cure? Oh, that was yours. Horizon Trades, good morning and good people. Bear says, can you look at SPGI chart? Looks like a turnaround after oversold levels. Yeah, we can take a look at that a little bit later here. Kamala, when do the election results come out? They come out all throughout the night. I'll probably be opening up my session tonight at about 6 p.m. But, man, it's probably going to be a marathon. I'll probably be going for a very, very, very long time. I'm also going to be hopping in. The All In podcast is doing one, too. So, they're doing some election coverage. I'll definitely want to see what they're talking about too, and maybe join on some of that. It looks like they're starting, and maybe I'll start at 7. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. I might move the time at the last minute if I get too excited and I want to do it early. We'll do it early. But they're coming on at 9 o'clock. It says. So it looks like they'll be out there too, and that's going to be exciting. But it's gonna be a heck of a day, guys. It's gonna be there's a lot that's gonna be happening today, a lot. Go Trump, go Elon, go America, hell yeah. Les Walter said the big difference is what Dems have done with the country over the last 4 years, and some will vote Trump because of those who will be working with him as his administration. Yeah, I think that's very key, right? Thank you, Peter, for the 5 memberships. Very much appreciate you, sir. Hello, good morning. It's going to be a fun day. But yeah, if you've lost a job because an illegal immigrant could get paid less for it, then you're going to be bitter. If you're in Southside Chicago and you're seeing immigrants get houses and assistance and living better than you and your family your entire life, I think you're going to pull in some of the black vote. And I've been listening to these people. I follow so many people, guys, that are black YouTubers talking about voting and or that are going into these ghettos and trying to figure out and going around the country in different parts of it, trying to figure out what the voice of the people is and what they believe. And you just see them randomly walking up to people, outside of a center where there's a bunch of homeless people or walking over here. And you start to listen, and it's damning how angry people are about what's happening with illegal immigration. And I think the black population is the most upset because, again, they're being brought to the back of the bus. They've been promised a bunch of stuff from Democrats, and they haven't delivered. And not only have they not delivered, they were the party that fought to and kept them enslaved. They were the party that created the KKK. They're all these things, and they've had them under their thumb, for a very, very long time. And if you were black, you had to vote. You had to vote Democrat. Joe Biden even said, if you don't vote Democrat, you ain't black or something. I don't even remember what I'm paraphrasing, but I mean, that's incredibly insulting, and it's racist. It's racist. Everybody has their own mind. People shouldn't have to be a hive of thought. It shouldn't be that way. And you don't help people. You don't make people better by having them have a hive mind mentality too. So I think it's just going to be a very different future if Donald Trump gets a clear mandate in tonight's election. It's going to be a very, very different world. Did I watch Elon Musk and Joe Rogan last night? I played a little bit of the video today. Yeah, it's very enlightening. Dude, I've been showing stats like that. There's in some states, there's an 800% upswing in illegal immigration. And the numbers are huge. They're huge. And not even just illegal, but legal. The Haitians that they're shipping them into swing states too, because they have a faster path to being legitimately able to vote. So in the next election, the next presidential election, those Haitians, if they stick around, will be legal citizens, and they'll be able to vote, and they'll be able to swing those states legally without, going and voting when you're not supposed to. So there's definitely a concerted effort to make it to where we're a uniparty and there's never a real election again in the future. And that's what we're fighting against, and I hope people understand that. I really do. Concord, Molly Hemingway's book, Rigged, does a fantastic job laying out the details of how the 2020 election was manipulated by the DNC lobbyists and big tech. Highly recommend. I haven't read the book, but I believe it. I believe it. I've seen enough video evidence and read enough to be able to believe that statement to be very true. Carlo, no, start earlier. I need all-day Jesse marathon. Dude, I'm willing to do like a 10-hour, full-day shift on this thing. I'm not going to go to sleep tonight until I feel confident that this man is the president of the United States of America. Hopefully that happens sooner for all of our sakes. But yeah, we're going to stick it out today, guys. Stoic Outdoors. Both candidates say we can't do another 4 years, yet one has been in office the last 4 years. I know. It's funny. Alex Garcia, Rogan, Elon podcast was a much watch. And then he endorsed Trump. And that's a big deal. That's it. He's got millions of people that are devoted to him. A lot of them are men. And we need men voting today, guys. That's why, I'm going to be, after the market open, I'm going to cast my vote. Make sure you do the same. I'm going to be driving around in my Cybertruck with a flag hanging off the back and two magnetic signs on the side of it that say Trump Vance. So get out there. Let people know how you feel. And vote. Shelley, I read the book Chaos. It opened my eyes to the depth of corruption. Highly recommend everyone get a copy. I believe it, Shelley. There is so much there. And the thing I love right now about all the people supporting Trump is they all want to tear it apart. Vivek wants to tear it apart. J.D. Vance wants to tear it apart. Trump has a personal vendetta to tear it apart. Elon Musk wants to tear it apart. Robert F. Kennedy wants to tear it apart. Not only did they try and shoot Trump twice to kill him this election, but they shot his father and his uncle and murdered both of them. So, and then you have Shanahan, and there's so many people. There's so many people that want to tear this motherfucker down. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And it's going to start today. And it's going to be beautiful. All right. Victor says, good election morning. Yes, sir. Shelley, I read. Oh, no, we already got to that one. Jaha, when are the votes closing? It depends on the time zone. So we go all the way from Eastern to Pacific. So it's going to be, you're going to see it all throughout the night. I mean, it really, we won't get to the West Coast until like 11, 12. So we're used to stuff like that. But if we have the mandate I'm seeing, I believe that, Jesse, we want to see a pic of your Cybertruck today. Send it to the Discord. I will. Yeah, that's cool. I'll take a picture and send it. I'll be happy to. Happy to, man. Yeah, I'll do all those things. We'll make that happen. So I'll put it on X too. But it's so the voting. I don't remember if it's 9 o'clock at night. It's probably 7. I think it's 7. When votes start to close on the East Coast, and then we'll start getting counts. But it's going to run up until the end, man. And we need to get all the men in there we can, because I know there's going to be all kinds of funny business to try and prevent people from being able to vote and have their ballots cast. So we'll see what happens. Mark Bentley, how can we get through to the universities? Are they pro-Trump academics? How can we get through? If there's only one way we could get through, I'd say Charlie Kirk is a pretty good way to get through. And he's been getting through. If you guys don't watch his videos, man, you need to, because he is amazing. He is. Oh, hey guys, do you remember? This is a nice little barbecue they're having in Minnesota because of Governor Waltz. He's a great guy. Now, this is what you need to realize. We have been talking to the universities. We're just doing it old school. And this is Vivek, Charlie Kirk, and a bunch of others. They do this all over liberal universities in the United States, and they're changing people's minds, man. Look at this. There's so many good things here, but look at him just call people out and say, "Tell me what Kamala's doing. Why are you voting Kamala?
Tell us why you're supporting Kamala Harris."
No, not too sure about that.
Why?
He's not sure.
Okay. So,
right now, because she's not Trump.
Can you tell me her greatest accomplishment?
No, I can't.
Can you tell me a single accomplishment?
I cannot. I want to leave.
What is Kamala Harris's greatest accomplishment?
See, that question. You can't. Okay.
Name an accomplishment of hers.
An accomplishment of her? She got in. When she was the
This just keeps going, guys. There's so much of this. These are so good. If you haven't watched these, he is amazing, and he's going to all of the swing states. He's going to all the major campuses, including very, very liberal ones, where he's even been attacked. But he goes out here and he tears these motherfuckers up, and he makes them question their convictions and what they're doing. So we're working on it, just one mind at a time. But we do have a systemic issue. I think removing the Board of Education and getting them out of the system in elementary and middle school and high school is the start of that. And then I think, because you need to remove it from the earliest of ages, so that when people do go to college, they'll be like, I don't want to listen to this dipshit professor. He's an asshole who doesn't let anybody else have any thoughts politically on what they believe. And so I think you could change it a lot there. But just listen to the rest of this. It's so good.
What is her greatest accomplishment?
Being an idol for.
Oh, I wish I had this on the top of my head, but I don't.
Well, as vice president, I'm not sure. I guess I have nothing. I'm stumped.
We cannot heal our country until we defeat the Democrat Party this November.
My number one mission is make Donald Trump go back into the White House in November.
Why should I vote for Trump?
Can you kind of give me your point of view of why I should vote for Trump?
I am thinking of voting for Harris, but I am open to be proven otherwise.
Could you please explain why under a Trump presidency it would be more
I love this because Kirk doesn't just make fun of people. He literally tries to have dialogue, and this is so important.
beneficial to me than a Harris presidency?
I want to try to win you over as a liberal for Donald Trump.
Why should I vote for Trump?
There's no guesswork in this election. We know the type of president that Trump was and that he will be.
There are three things I want you to think about when voting for Trump. Home ownership, border, war. Three objective things.
People remember the Trump years better because they were better. Kamala Harris will destroy this country, bring us closer to World War III, allow 30 million illegal people into the country, and bring us to a Great Depression.
Donald Trump will restore the American dream for your generation.
When I decide, just in case, can I have a hat?
You can have a hat.
So which way are you leaning?
Can I get a hat? I think you've convinced me. So thank you for that.
God bless you.
So, yeah, that would end up leaning me towards the Republican Party despite myself being a liberal.
How are you leaning this election?
Well, after what you said, Trump.
Let's go! I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization. That's what I'm doing here today.
We gotta win. We're gonna make America great.
Yeah, so we got people like this doing their part to make it happen, and I think he's doing a great job along with a bunch of others. You saw Tulsi Gabbard there too. It's pretty awesome. Drain the swamp. Here in Spain, all over the media, they're saying Trump Kamala is a tie. Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they want it to be. John Mars, yep. Anthony, good morning, Jesse. Big day in Canada. We literally have special news reporting all night and have billboards with Kamala and Trump promoting it. That's how close Canadians are paying attention. Yeah, dude, I hope to God we do it for you guys too. Because Trudeau needs to go, and there's no way he's going to be able to steal the election if Trump wins tonight. So I hope for you guys, too, that it works out. See more sats? UK media saying neck-and-neck race. Obviously, they know Jack. Yeah, I believe it. Good morning from Canada. Atheist praying here. Yeah, I don't know that I'm an atheist, but I'm not a religious person, and I'm still praying for Donald Trump tonight. So I'm with you, brother. Daryl Bryce, amen. Dylan, you think he'll win that early? I think he'll win by tomorrow morning. I strongly believe that. Elon Musk believes that. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Let me see. Let's see if I can find it on here. Even Bill. Oh my God, there's so much stuff, guys. I might go through some of it right now, but let's see if I might have to just go into Elon's comments here. But Elon, somebody said with all this data. Let me go back. I think I put it under best election. Somebody said, with all this data, we still don't know who's going to win tonight. And Elon said, I do. So, and I agree with them. I do too. And there's enough analytics to just tell us who's going to win tonight. So we just got to get out there and do it. We just got to do our part, guys. You got to make it too big to rig. That's the only goal right now. Trump isn't running against Kamala Harris. He already won that. He's not even running as much against the machine. He's running against the machine's ability to alter the election results from the will of the American people. That's literally what we're fighting for right now. Maytag, good morning, everyone. Vote Donald Trump and save America. Yes, sir. That is the truth. Anthony, thanks, man. We need our American friends to do the right thing today. Yes, we do. Samir Kumar, come on, Trump. The Avengers have assembled. Elon, JD, Vivek, RFK Jr., Tulsi, and so many more. I agree. Shale, Rachel Maddow says the government will pull all of Elon Musk contracts. I know, that's what they want. That's what they want, guys. They want to destroy Elon Musk. I hope you know this. Like, I showed the video yesterday, so I played that video from Rachel Maddow today, right? I showed that. But they want to destroy Elon Musk. He will be gone. X will be gone. The platforms that we use to communicate will go away. I hope to God you know that. I hope to God you understand that if you support Elon Musk, it will go away. I mean, look at this. Elon Musk appears in a political ad. Yeah, these are all great. These are all so good, guys. Looks like we got some economic data today, too, so I should probably pull that up. Let me give me 1 minute.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing.
Oh, this is that part of the video. I love that. But I've already played it. So let's go over. We'll look at economic data real quick here and see what they have to offer. I might have to jump back just a hair. 1 second here. Let me go back a little bit. Trade deficit data, it looks like. We got Leesman up in the house. Let's see what he has to say.
So you can see the entire 20-minute discussion. Everybody gives both sides of the debate there. It's available on CNBC.com now. And my take, guys, if Trump wins, it was the economy and the inability of Harris to respond to the inflation issue, especially for younger women hit hard by inflation who might have gone Harris's way on things like the abortion issue. If it's Harris, it was the Democratic turnout machine. And her lead, it showed up in our final CNBC poll on the character issues, which was able to offset the Trump advantage on the economy. Andrew?
Yeah, I don't know if I have all the slides, guys, but there are a number of states where they don't require an ID. It's not a huge number. It's basically all the ones that are going to be perma blue. So they don't want validity in those elections. Those will obviously still be very perma blue. But you're right. So Shelley said on the Megyn Kelly show, I heard an Irish tourist who had voted in 5 states just to see if he could. It's going to be a sketchy election. So again, in states where it's really easy to do that, you can do that. If I was that Irish tourist, I would not admit to that, though. They could come after you. I don't know, unless he's just clearly trying to articulate that he's doing a test to try and make sure that the system is legitimate. I mean, watch out, man, because you could have people coming after you. But I do think, though, that there's so many legal fights going on right now. And again, people like this can try and make it to where there's a delay in the election. But if the vast majority of states which require IDs, photo IDs for a lot of them, do their jobs, then this election is going to be hard to seal, especially with the number of people. And again, Atlas Intel, guys, this is the most consistent pollster and the most accurate from last cycle, the most accurate in most elections around the world where they poll. They do a really, really great job, and they're not biased. They have Trump winning by 1.2 percentage points in the popular vote. That would be fucking insane for him to win the popular vote in the United States of America. It would be a clear mandate that the time of the Democrats is over and that Americans, you got to realize, over 80% of Americans don't want censorship. They don't want that. They want freedom of speech. So that's not a good. If they lose, it's because of the censorship. It's because people left their party because they tried to control who the next president could be. Kamala Harris was anointed, and we don't even know how. But Robert F. Kennedy was done with it, and Tulsi Gabbard was done with it, and Shanahan was done with it. All these people left the Democratic Party this election. Just this election. Elon Musk was a Democrat. Joe Rogan was a Democrat. Chamath was a Democrat. Bill Ackman was a Democrat. All these people are switching sides, and there's so many more. Can we praise Elon Musk a bit? Without the sacrifice of buying Twitter, probably Trump would not be winning tonight. I agree. Without his endorsement, without him buying X, I don't know if he would. I 100% agree. We're lucky, man. We're very lucky. Let's hop over here. Let's listen to what they have to say about this economic data. Actually, real quickly, let me just look over here too. So imports, September, 64 billion. Exports. Imports, around 65. Both numbers came in slightly lower than forecast. This economy is not strong. It needs to be, and there's hope for it if we have pro-growth policies. If we don't, it's not going to look good. Let's see, balance of trade. Where did we land on this one? So negative 84 billion, another absolutely shit number. It shows that our dependency on China is just growing and growing and growing. So LMI, the logistics managers index came out too, and that's actually a good number, 58.9. So this is a good number. This isn't still in expansion territory. And this is a logistics manager survey and a monthly study aimed at revealing the status of U.S. logistics activity. The LMI score is a combination of 8 unique components that make up logistics industry, including inventory levels and costs, warehousing capacity, utilization, prices, transportation capacity, utilization, and prices. Why do they have in prices in there twice? Oh, for these different categories? I don't know. I don't know what they're going for. But, yeah, this is a good number to see. Is Palantir up 16% right now? Fuck. Congrats, guys. That's a crazy-ass number. Let's pull it up. real quick, and then we'll get back over to their take on that economic data. So that is deep into the red resistance level that I have. What is this? This will get them well into the 100 plus, $110 billion market cap. That's getting pretty spendy. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. We're up here now. And before I said, hey, this thing, I mean, we should reject it 50. I don't know. Their data was really good. It's only 5% away. So maybe it keeps going. It still has on the weekly time frame, it still has bearish divergence on the RSI that goes back 14 months. So, and it's literally hit its highest level ever. And I don't even know what the weekly RSI is going to look like. It might be the highest it's ever been in this stock. So it's going to have a lot of weights pulling it down, but their numbers were beautiful. So it was really good. I'm not buying HIMS because I just don't know the product well enough. And I'm not even focused on Palantir enough to really be excited about Palantir. Outside of the fact that I know that their business model is strong. I know they're actually AI. I don't like comments from people like Tom Nash saying that like they're the strongest software company on the planet for AI. I mean, that's Tesla. I'm sorry, it just is. I get that people love their Palantir, and I like it too, but and I'm happy that people are up a bunch today. What are you guys up now? 722%. That's better than the 666%. So congratulations. Gets you out of that evil devil territory. But yeah, Palantir having a great day. And I think bringing up markets, I don't know who's ringing me like crazy. Somebody's going crazy today. But yeah, let me see here real quick. And I'll just look at the watch list pre-market too. But yeah, Tesla up almost 2%. Palantir up a stupid amount, almost 17%. Let's actually go over here. Let's do this. We'll pull up the watch list and look at pre. So I have been wrong in the direction of Palantir. I'm okay admitting that. It's not my saying that it can go down based on technicals is never going to be my highest conviction bet. It's always going to be fundamentals. Not a lot down today, though, on the watch list. I mean, not a lot down at all. PayPal down 0.36%. Coinbase is down. TMF is down. But outside of that, man, what's MSTU? Looking good, up 6.31%. CleanSpark's up 3.57. MSTR is up 3.3. It looks like the Bitcoin market, Tesla, Palantir, Hood's up. Looks like they're all coming back today. Oh, they posted incredible numbers. They're really great. CleanSpark's great. Let me go back real quick. Or wait, let me fix this. Oh, one more time maybe. There we go. Bookmarks. CleanSpark. Yeah, CleanSpark looks amazing. And you know what? Actually, we're going to go back one because a friend of mine posted a really great series of reports on my buddy right here, Future Leader Investing. He posted a breakdown of all the miners and how they performed for the month, right? So Mara 717 BTC up 2% month over month. Average BTC produced per day was 23.1. Energized mega hash rate is 40 exahash. Supposedly shares of available miner reward 4.6. Transaction fees as percentage. So he's got a lot of good metrics. Look at CleanSpark, how far they've come. They're like 65-ish, whatever, Bitcoin away from beating Mara in a month. It's insane how quickly they've grown. 32% month over month. 32%. You got to remember, they got their 600 million offering approved by the board. The power and growth of these guys is going to be astronomical. Their Bitcoin holdings are going to shoot up a lot too. They already have been. These guys have crazy numbers right here. 32% growth month over month is sick. Riot. Look at Riot. Riot was number 2 by a decent margin. They only got 505. 655 versus 505. Just absolutely crushing it. BTC held 11,000. That's their biggest win right now. But again, CleanSpark is going to catch up really, really fast. I think by the end of Q1, they're maybe at least the third in Bitcoin holdings. across all the miners, and that's saying something. I love that Core Scientific is still in here, but again, they have no real growth, and they don't hold any Bitcoin, so they're not going to do as well. Bitfarms, though, up 8.7% month over month. They've got a decent Bitcoin holding, and they're in 5th place for Bitcoin mined from a publicly traded fund. For as small as this market cap is, guys, this thing will be rocket fuel. You know why it'll be rocket fuel? Look at Cypher, the one that's done so much better as far as price recently. They are in 6th place with 168 Bitcoin mined. Bitfarms had 236. So these just aren't comparable, and Bitfarms, I think, is going to expand a lot quicker than Cypher. We'll see. Even though I own Cypher, too. I got 6 figures in it, so I shouldn't shit-talk it too much. And then Wolf coming in 7th place with 150 BTC. That's just a much lower number. A much lower number. So, but again, CleanSpark is nailing it, man. I can't believe how tiny they were last cycle and how much better they are this cycle. And this is, negative 0.17 EPS. Yeah, that's fine, though. You got to remember, Bitcoin's price hasn't done anything all year. They're going to run negative. But when they run positive, when the bull market takes off, it will be massively positive for the miners that have the largest hash rate and the largest Bitcoin holdings. They'll be the ones that benefit, okay? The biggest hash rate and the biggest Bitcoin holdings. Mara's at the top of that list. They've got a massive Bitcoin holding. MicroStrategy's at the top of that list. It's a synthetic miner. Let's be real. It's going to do really well, better than I would have thought. CleanSpark is at the top of that list. I mean, even Riot is, and I don't even think they're that well managed, but they're up there. And they've got a lot of Bitcoin. And again, he doesn't have everything in this list, like Hut and some others that are very much in the, harder AI HPC category. They're not on this list, but so be it. I own some Iron too, so I've got a little bit in that play as well. Debo says, let me go up a little bit higher. Sorry. CleanSpark up to 31 exahash is insane, and they're just going to be so much bigger by next spring. It's going to be nuts. Stephen Toro, Tesla's real world AI. Palantir is for industrial output and military applications. I think they're real world AI too. I don't want to discount the fact that I do think that they're really great, but Tesla's just another level. It's another level. They're gonna be building almost all the humanoid robots. They're gonna be building all the transportation robots. They're gonna be the leading robotics and AI company in the world, and they're already gonna have the most intelligent AI by the end of this year, if not beginning in regard to chat and responses with Grok. It's gonna be fucking insane. So it's just not comparable. The market cap is much smaller, though, on Palantir, and that's awesome. That really helps the people that own it. Doug Frenchak, I sold Palantir because you kept saying it's going lower. Hey, Doug, man up and say goodbye because you're going to go away. I don't accept people like that, man. If you're a little bitch who's going to blame me for your fucking decisions, you're gone. You do not stay with following me. So bye. You've been blocked. If you can't own up for your fucking decisions from an investment standpoint, leave. Leave. I don't want you here. Okay? I want to be very clear. All of you can leave. I can talk to myself in a fucking room if you're going to act like that. And I'd be perfectly fine with that. All right, let's listen to the rest. Let's listen to what Steve and then Rick have to say.
Steve,
while we're doing that, I'm getting coffee.
I don't know where to go with this because I don't think we'll know what the real answer is until tomorrow. But then we'll be able to look back maybe at what you just reported and see if it ultimately is right. I think it probably is.
I think those interesting things are, some of them are issue related and some are how they ran the campaigns. And you really can't know. It's the Achilles heel of every poll, who turns out. One idea I had, Andrew, that might be worth talking about is, I was talking to our Republican pollster, that was Micah, and I said, I have this idea that there are more demographically 20-something kids who are going to go and knock on doors for the Democrats than there are 20-something Republicans who are going to knock on doors for Republicans. He agreed with me on that, but he said, don't underestimate the Republican get-out-the-vote machine. He thinks they've gotten their act together compared to past elections. So really right now, that's the key to this election, and the polls can't pick it up.
Yeah, predictions are especially hard when they're about the future.
Yep.
Steve, thank you. We'll see you in just a little bit. Right now, it is time for some breaking trade data. Rick Santelli is standing by at the CME in Chicago. Ahead of that, you've got the Dow futures up by about 43 points, S&P up by 12, the NASDAQ up by 71. Rick.
Yes, this is the trade balance. We know it's going to be a deficit. It's for September, expecting a number in the zip code of 84 billion with a minus sign, and that's exactly what we get, minus 84.4 billion. How does that compare with history? That would be the biggest deficit going back to, drumroll please, pretty much 85. We're going back to April of 22. April of 22 to find a bigger deficit in the rearview mirror. Well, we could see the jump from September versus August. In the rearview mirror is minus 70.8. We leaped up to minus 84.4. And that isn't the only news. Of course, we're going to have services, ISM, PMIs, S&P Global PMIs.
Yeah, Doug gets to go hang out with, what was it, Lena? Who were the other people? I don't know. Somebody needs to make a kill list.
But get this, Becky and Joe. I always like to talk about auctions, and 3s, 10s, 30s is the package this week, and I'm sure there's a lot of crossfire between what's going on in the markets based on supply and
Yellen.
issues.
Oh, yeah, Janet Yellen. I forgot. Janet Yellen is no longer in the chat.
And attributed to the election. But look to the UK. The UK this morning already had an auction of 10-year gilts. The size of their auction was roughly about $5 billion-ish, and the auction did not go well. Yields jumped up to over 4.5%. A one-year.
Lena, what is it? Lena, Yellen, and Doug. That's the new list, guys. Somebody keep track of that.
High based on closing yields when they do close, and it certainly looks like they're on pace for that. So the reason I bring it up is if you look at all the dynamics that have changed in the UK, the fact that they need to auction off so many more securities this year. It looks like close to 400 billion of issuance, which is much more than they expected before the recent budget came out.
Oh, what a mess.
So think about that and then aim that microscope to the U.S. Today we have an auction of 10-year notes here. I think it's going to be a very, very important auction to pay attention.
Real quick, Johnny Utah. Good morning, Jesse. I don't get to catch you very often. Just wanted to say thank you for all your hard work. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, dude.
1 Eastern is when we button it up. Joe and Becky, back to you.
Rick, you think?
I feel you. Sal Pal says, I'm so done with the corporate world. I can't wait to retire. I feel you, man. I was the exact same way. If you really want to get tired of the corporate world, read The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I read that book, and it just changed my way of looking at everything. I was such a slave to the corporate world, always trying to do everything to impress my boss and increase my raise at the end of the year. And just be very accommodating and not saying what I really felt, and just like the exact opposite of who I am today. And I was a miserable person. It's bad, but you should definitely read The Art of Not Giving a Fuck to where you can just, maybe you're already there. Maybe you've detached yourself from that world. If you're there, then you got there probably a bit quicker than I did. But yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to retire and to figure out the next stage of your life. It comes with its own problems, but you will like it, I think.
I think it's the same issue, too much issue.
Yeah. His statement was literally, I sold my Palantir because of what you said. So, fuck him. He's gone. He's not coming back. Oh, what just happened here? Let's go back up.
That's being done? Is there I guess some sort of halting acceptance coming from investors?
I mean, again, I give my opinions on how things are, and I tell you guys, for the people who actually listen, I tell them something, okay? I say that there's a pyramid of how you weigh things and make decisions in your life, okay? At least in regard to the investment world. And the macro and global liquidity, all that stuff, that's at the bottom, right? Like all the geopolitics and all the core really fundamental stuff is down there. And then you have the fundamentals of the business or whatever you're invested in. Then you have the financials. Then you have the technicals. If people are taking what I'm saying when I'm talking about the technicals and they're ignoring this other stuff and this thing they're invested in and taking something I say and being like, oh, hey, now I sold out of it. Oh, and I'm supposed to make a bunch of money because Jesse said that this is going to happen. And then this other thing is going to happen. And then that doesn't happen right away. I don't want them bitching to me about it. Okay? I don't have time for that shit. So it's literally you do you. Okay? It's not my fucking problem. And if more people want to leave, let me know. Raise your hand.
On this, just when you point out the differences or the similarities between the UK and here.
You know, I think the easiest way to look at this is just a matter of price and yield. I'm not sure that the market.
Yeah, anybody else who says that they sold because of me is getting blocked permanently. Okay? Can I just be very clear? If you say that in this chat again, you're blocked, you're gone, and you're not coming back.
Market and investors can't gobble up more securities, but I think the real issue is how much they're going to get paid, what type of interest rate they're going to get, and I would look at every dollar in investing by investors into sovereign debt is going to be much more discriminating in the months and years ahead.
Okay, excellent point. Rick, thank you.
Coming up, Trump economic advisor Stephen Moore and former Obama campaign manager Jim Messina will join us for an election day business conversation as Americans head to the polls. Squawk Box coming right back.
All right. I'll mute these guys real quick. Let's see here. So almost 8 o'clock. Let's look at the rest of the economic calendar and see if there's anything on it. We got Redbook at 8:55. S&P Global Composite and Services, the PMI at 10, business activity. So it looks like there's a decent chunk coming out today still. A lot, actually. This is going to be a lot of data. That's smart, Daniel. That's the same thing I do too, man. He said, I sold Palantirs in the 20s, 30s, and 40s because I considered that it had run a lot. I like to make my own decisions and live by them, just like I play basketball. I agree. Free speech does not exist here. I don't know if people understand this. You could be 100% pro free speech. I'm 100%. Like, hey, Doug can go say whatever the fuck he wants to on X right now. He can call me an asshole to a bunch of people on X. He can broadcast that all over the place. I don't have to look at him. That's the wonderful thing about America. We can have free speech and not be forced to hear it. There's nobody pointing our head in one direction and saying you have to listen to what these people have to say if you don't want to. That's another great thing about freedom. So fuck Doug, fuck Lena, fuck Yellen. They can all suck a dick. Okay? Anybody else wants to join that list, let me know. I'm going to end up blocking a lot of people today, I can tell. Like a lot. If you guys want to be on that list, just let me know. MSTR's at 2.6. That's not bad. Let me look over here. Boy, somebody's blowing up my messenger. Yeah, that's a good number. 2.6 is a good number. It's a lot better than 3-ish plus that we've been seeing recently. And I think with a breakout getting ready to happen, I think we're going to see MicroStrategy is going to gain a lot of strength. I watched this really great video. What is his name? I'm trying to remember his name. He's so great. I'll find it. It's over here. I know I have it in my history, so I'll pull it up real quick here. He's on X too. For the life of me, I cannot think of his name right now. Dylan LeClaire. Dylan LeClaire? I don't know. He's brilliant. He's a really great guy. Let me find him real quick. There's a video he had. that and this dude is young, but he's brilliant. And like when you find brilliance, it doesn't really matter what age it's at. He's also affiliated with MetaPlanet, one of the companies. I don't know if he's just an advisor on the board or what, but he works with them, and he got them started on their Bitcoin treasury strategy. But he has this video with Anthony Pompliano that's great. I think the one I watched. Oh, on the margin right here. I'm going to retweet this. This was so good. He just breaks down the math of why MicroStrategy's play is just as amazing as it is, with the yield or dividend that it generates and how much you end up getting in a return, and then the multiplier to NAV and how big it can get. Doug voted Kamala. Yeah, probably. Don't be Doug, guys. Don't be Doug. But yeah, this one, I need to add this under the Bitcoin section. This is great. This is such a good video. If you get time, definitely watch it. It's going to be worth it. All right, let's look. Palantir almost at 17%. MSTU at 6.5%. Again, all the Bitcoin miners doing good. Even China is bullish on Trump right now. So that says a lot. Well, I mean, not the CCP. They don't want Trump to win, actually. They don't want him to win because they're afraid of more tariffs. And they like communism. And since Kamala Harris is really close to it, it makes them happy. Pompliano and yeah, dude, that was you saw that, Freedom? It was such a great interview. There's so many good ones. Joe Rogan, I mean, he's had J.D. Vance, Donald Trump, and Elon Musk all in like the last several weeks. There's been so much good content out there to watch and learn from. It's been amazing. Let's actually look at Bitcoin. We haven't even done that yet. Sorry, I'm just really disorganized. All I can think about are the politics today. But this is great. So just look at this. We're just randomly pulling up Bitcoin here. Bitcoin is in the 68s. Why is this so fascinating? Because look at this. It's doing exactly what we wanted it to do from a technical level, guys. Look at this. This is the weekly close, right? We're above this. Look at how we wicked up. I said over here that, hey, we got this just slammed down this last week, but that we should see some kind of recovery, and that this was more an impulse just showing you where we're headed next than an impulse showing you that we're like crushed and going further. Because you have to think about the underlying patterns. You have to look at everything. It's all really important. But look at this. This is beautiful. This is the launch pad ready to go. And if Trump wins, we are going to get to 92,000 in very short order. And you're going to see Bitcoin miners that go up 100% over that period of time. It's going to be sick. Freedom Options said, Robert says, Bitcoin waiting on Trump. I agree. Freedom Option says, fun fact, Riot CEO is looking at also adopting a BTC yield metric for performance measurement. Saylor leading the way. Dude, how could you be a Bitcoin company and not have a Bitcoin treasury strategy? You have to. I totally agree. Like that's just a no-brainer. There's going to be a lot of that. Alex Garcia, I found the liquidity leverage map is the most useful tool out there for BTC movements. Liquidity leverage map. Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about like the crypto quant stuff, or like a visual one, or are you talking about like what are you talking about? Just to make sure that I'm on the same page. I don't remember the names of all the metrics. HS, hey guys, thank you Jesse for all the hard work and the signal you put out. Thanks for the membership. I don't know who did it. I don't know who was it today. It was somebody. Let me get back over here. It was somebody. Let me see here. Live chat. Fan funding. Oh, that's a tab. That's cool. It was Peter. Peter Gregorsi. I don't know. It kind of covers your last part of your name. But he gifted 5. So thank you very much, sir, for that. Let me switch back over here real quick. It's going to be hard to focus on work. Johnny Utah, it's going to be hard to focus on work today. Probably going to leave early. I need to vote against the blue wave. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's going to be super hard for you to focus on work today. Lowe's 94, Jesse, are you streaming the result? Yeah, I'm starting early, man. I'm going all night. Yes, I will be. And then the All In podcast has a thing at 9. I'll probably jump into that. We'll be all over the Trump train tonight. We'll be watching the election until we know that he's won. Daniel Dibb, can't wait to wake up tomorrow to Trump winning and BTC at an all-time high. I hope that's the reality we live in. I really do. D-Fresh, dude. Dylan, the long short liquidation one. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yep. That's crypto quant, I think. You could probably see it in a few places, but Victor Hernandez, but when the bull run goes crazy, miners would they should outperform MSTR, yes. Now, some of them might not outperform MSTU or MSTX because it's a 2X MSTR. So, I don't know. That could be interesting. Some might not do that, but really small market caps can do really, really, really well, especially when the money starts flowing in. Luke Automato, let's go Trump. I'm feeling optimistic after the Joe Rogan endorsement. Yeah, it all just stacks, guys. You have so many people that supported Ron Paul or liberals or libertarians that believed in Robert F. Kennedy because he is an amazing patriot and just a great person. And Tulsi Gabbard, and again, all these, and Shanahan, all these people, and Elon Musk. I mean, of course, there's a ton of us following because of that. But we've just been stacking. We're just stacking. And there's just such a shift. This is not like 2020. It's just nothing like it. I know. I was on the other side of the fence. I have plenty of friends that are liberals. I have plenty of people who I follow in social media where I still see the same view I saw before. And I can tell you, they're not doing well, guys. They had the moral high ground last time, if you could say that kind of thing, right? Because Trump was crazy. Trump did the January riots. All these things happened because of Trump. They had the moral high ground because that's all that was out there. And they don't have any of that this time. They've got confusion. They've got hatred towards Trump. But then there's tons of people that use X now, and they can see the truth every day. And some of them are waking up more and more all the time. And what was the turning point for me? It was X. It was about it's happened in less than a year, but it all started because of Elon Musk. I was forced to listen to the Twitter files and understand that Elon wasn't crazy and that he was right. And even COVID, he was right. And I was so like with the establishment, like, go get vaccinated, blah, 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 bullshit. Probably bad decisions made there, but I was all for that stuff, and just looking at all the truth of all of it and seeing that Elon was right. His businesses did need to stay open, and we completely mismanaged all that, created massive amounts of inflation. And if Trump wouldn't have listened to Anthony Fauci and these experts, and if he wouldn't have had the media saying 95% of the time that he was an idiot, a horrible person, and that this is what we should be doing instead, because they were literally censoring anything that didn't fall in line with that, then I think it would have been a much different world, and we'd be much better off. I objectively think that, without bias, just from what I know. You could just assume that would be a lot better, because again, we wouldn't have had the bouts of inflation, and potentially would have just been a much better economy than we are. We definitely wouldn't have had all the illegal immigration. We wouldn't have had just all the craziness that we're dealing with right now. So I don't know. It just builds up. Once you start to see the truth, you can't help but just watch it build up and build up and build up and want to see more. And then it goes from reluctance to eventually you seeking it out. And it's good. Jesse, you blocked me back when I talked to you about Trump. Can you unblock me? Yeah, totally, Tyler. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for everybody I block, but I'm sorry if I blocked you. What's your ID, bro? Tell me what your ID is, and I'll fix you right now. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me find you here. Don't type too much, guys. I got to find him. TYFL guy. Oh. 97? No, I must have messed something up. TY at fly guy. Fly. We need the fly. Need the fly. There you go, bro. Fixed. Austin, thanks for becoming a member, bro. Appreciate you. When is our next data? So it's 8:05. We still got 25 minutes until open. We did get Redbook. Redbook is 6%. That is 0.4% higher than it was last time. So this is good. I mean, this is good. We want to see this trend. We want to see us get above 7. This is retail sales data. This is a lot. This is supposed to represent 9,000 stores. and over 80% of the equivalent of the official retail sales series collected and published by the U.S. Department of Commerce. So it's good that we're getting closer to 7. We want to see that number strong heading into the holidays. I think it will be. I think if people are thinking about lower taxes too, think of what Q4 looks like. Oh my God. Huh. I'm just thinking about this. All right, let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this. What does Q4 look like if Trump gets elected? Like, let's talk. You guys brainstorm too. Tell me what your thoughts are. Here's one that just came to mind for me. Massive sales for Tesla. You know why? Because anybody who's thinking about buying one is going to try and lock in the $7,500 tax credit. But people are also going to be very optimistic about Tesla's stock and its future. So it could be like the perfect storm for Tesla. It could also be the perfect storm for retail sales in Q4 and the holiday. And here's why. Because again, if people realize Trump's winning and know that their tax bill's going down, or they're not going to get taxed on Social Security so their income is increased, and I mean, these things aren't going to be instantaneous unless he wins the House and the Senate. He's definitely winning the Senate. The House, I'm a little bit worried about. We'll be following that a lot tonight because if we can get the House and the Senate, it's like game over for change, and then everything I'm talking about happens. If we can't get the House, it gets a little more questionable. So we'll have to see. But I do think we can get it all. And if we get it all, then people are going to be like, dude, my Social Security check's going to get bigger. I'm not taxed for tips. My payments are getting bigger. If you're a small company, you're going to realize that, corporate tax is going down. And you're just going to realize that you got a pro-growth stance and that you're going to have more money in your pocket. And so people, I think, are going to be feeling better, more optimistic, and they're going to be more likely to spend. And I think people are going to feel better about bonds. And so I think we've seen the peak of bond market yields. So, and we'll see that start to curve down, and then maybe TLT is a good buy. Wouldn't that be great if this all happens and we're able to take our investments in Tesla, our investments in Bitcoin and related stuff, and just in other asymmetric bets, capitalize on a lot of growth in that, and then also dial into something like TLT, because we know the government is actually going to be back closer to a track of being able to repay its debts, where people can actually get the money from the bonds in the future. So they buy them and they start locking in rates because they're like, whoa, I know rates are coming down. I know that people think that the bond market is more likely to pay out in the future. So I know these rates are going to come down dramatically. What happens to Warren Buffett if rates start to come down dramatically and he's not getting that risk-free yield? He's going to have to start locking in at these rates and these longer-dated treasuries. He's going to have to start locking those in so he can have those high payouts for a while until he figures out how to deploy capital. So if that's the case, he's going to have to start flooding into the bond market or into longer-dated treasuries and push that up too. Or he's going to have to start applying capital to something. So I think we could have the perfect storm for making a lot of money. That's what I truly want that to be the case, because I think it's the best case for humanity. And I don't want to deal with the repercussions mentally of living in a world where we turn into a uniparty state and there is no America anymore. I don't want to bet on that world, even though it might happen. I'm hedged well enough in my life where I can deal with the ramifications of something like that if it happens. But I'm betting on the beautiful, bright future of tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do. You guys do you. All right, let me see here. More comments. So you should be unblocked, Tyler. Sorry about that. If there's anybody else like that, let me know. Austin Tan. Tesla Future says, good morning, Jesse. First of all, happy election day. Second of all, have you already looked at HIMS? I didn't go into the details. I need to get my login to work. I'll try and hop over here and get my login to work. I'll actually probably, for a second here, I might let these yahoos talk and we can listen to dipshit Andrew Sorkin on CNBC while I try and get visual stocks to work, because I would like to look at Palantir, and I love it. It's just a great tool for that. Let's listen to these guys and their bias towards Kamala Harris real quick. 1 second. Oh, Let me hit the right screen.
Closer, and nobody has any idea where this is going tonight, which is why it's going to be fascinating to be with you, Carl, as we go through the evening hours and into the late night, trying to figure out what it all means.
I know you heard you mentioning Dixville Notch on Squawk this morning, and that 3-3, which is a swing from 2020, although others have pointed out they all voted for Haley in the primary.
Yeah, isn't that fascinating? The Haley voters, maybe coming home for Trump. If you can make anything out of 6 votes, right? But that's the only vote count we have, so we're going to try to parse it. Haley voters maybe coming home for Trump. Interesting that Donald Trump did not campaign with Nikki Haley, although she seemed to be signaling that she was willing to do that. He didn't take her up.
Look at Walsh, guys. Or I'm sorry, Harris. Literally, who have we not heard from at the end of her campaign? She had to get rid of Mark Cuban and the former president of the United States, Joe Biden. I mean, he is the former now, right? I'm pretty sure he doesn't do anything anymore. But neither one of these guys have campaigned with her near the end of this campaign. Isn't that sad? There's nobody standing next to her outside of the P. Diddy list.
On that. And in an era in which the gender gap is going to be an enormous problem for Donald Trump, you wonder if that was a tactical mistake by Donald Trump to not campaign alongside Nikki Haley.
Could I get, how many of you are there?
And here you see Kamala Harris last night in Philadelphia embracing Oprah Winfrey. She had Lady Gaga. The Democrats have been rolling out celebrity after celebrity in my hometown in Philadelphia.
Yeah, they all went to P. Diddy's parties. All right, evidently I blocked a lot of you guys, so if there's more people on the list, let me know. This might say I have a problem. I don't know. All right, could be some of me. Maybe. All right, you get a follow. There you go, bro. You're back. All right, let's get back over here. Yeah, so Trump made a strategic mistake. That's so funny to me. It's so funny because so many people have switched over. So many people have switched over. And even, you know what's sad? When you have Obama, the guy I voted for twice, right? When you have him lying to people about the whole fine people comment, when it's been debunked by Snopes, liberal fact-checking services, and you have this man who's supposed to be such a great human being, such a humanitarian, such a truthful, like the first real non-politician, and he is willing to lie to people when he knows that what he's saying isn't true, in just such a blatant fashion. It's really disgusting. It lets you know why you're happy that you left.
You had the cast of The West Wing out over the weekend. Martin Sheen walking the streets of my town where I grew up in Philly, trying to rally voters for Kamala Harris. And the Democrats are leaning on the celebrity factor as much as they can on their side of it.
So, Eamon, when I voted in Massachusetts years ago, there were people from NBC
as
soon as I walked out asking
me
who I voted for, and they subsequently outlawed that. How do we know that there hasn't been a very clever hedge fund that didn't do exactly what NBC did back in the days when I was interviewed?
I think that's possible. They have massive resources, right? But I guess the question is, how would you trade it? Even if you were a hedge fund which had the best exit polling results in the world today, how would you trade, overnight and in the morning to position yourself to benefit from it, unless you could really know for sure what that electoral college vote was going to be? I don't think you'd know how to trade those results, even if you had some exquisite polling that...
This guy's a fucking idiot. Thank you for telling us that there's no way to know. Austin, hey, thanks for joining, man. Glad I subscribed. Quick question. Where's the best place to look to see who's winning the projected to win? I don't know. That's been different things over the years. I can't remember if it's NBC or one of them that had a lot of... I basically search for whatever... I mean, come to my channel. I'll be on YouTube, bro. Just come to me, because I'll be digging through trying to see which ones are updating the most and in real time, and I'll be looking at a bunch of different news feeds at the same time. Plus, we have this whole group, so we'll figure it out. There have in previous years, I want to say it was NBC or one of them had a really good tracker, but every year it seems to be different on which ones just have the most relevant information, which ones populate the fastest, which ones display the best. So we'll figure it out tonight, but yeah, it's gonna be very entertaining. It's gonna be a very entertaining night. Ball Jug Paul. USA gets Trump. Is USA gets Trump, we're so fucked here in the UK. This is what we can expect if Kamala gets elected. Yeah. The UK needs help. You guys got Keir Starmer, and he's just a fucking piece of shit. He's a horrible human being who's imprisoned 3,300 people already for their views online. Just your words online, 33 people arrested, including children. That's what we can expect here if Kamala gets in. We can expect people like me getting arrested and going to prison. But they'll probably get Elon first, and Trump first, and others first. Theo, the further from the Obama presidency, his legacy continues to die. He has no legacy anymore, I don't think. Bal Jagpal, I hope USK gets Trump. Me too. Tyler H, Coin Glass, liquidation heat map looks like it wants 69,500. Maybe. All kinds of things can happen tonight. It's definitely going to be a volatile night. I have no doubt of that. I could definitely see that with Bitcoin. Very volatile tonight. Let's look over here. So we got 13 minutes until market open. Bitcoin is still trading higher, up 1.6%. Let's see what the rest of this watch list is looking like, too. We got Palantir up 18 now, almost. That's fucking huge. Congrats, guys, to everybody who got that. Congrats. That's a huge number. That was very impressive. But yeah, MSTU still sitting around 6. CleanSpark. Some of these others haven't changed too much. Tesla's still at 2. So it looks kind of the same. Not too different from earlier, but it looks like Bitcoin is at least leading the way higher. What's PayPal at here, too? PayPal down 1.2%. I don't know if there's news on that. If anybody has it, let me know. But yeah, it's looking like a pretty clean start to the day. I think people are getting excited. Dario, did you watch Joe Rogan and Elon? Yeah, I did. I actually played a little bit from it today, and I have it like posted as a pinned tweet. My thoughts on that. Austin, haha, you got it. Thanks, man. Austin Tan, agree with Value Maxi on Trump. His rallies were past midnight, where many people his age. Oh, dude, he's a beast. He's a beast. He is one of the hardest working dudes in politics. The only reason, guys, I don't know how many of you know this, the only reason he even ran for the president is there was a presidential roast of Obama, and the Democratic Party turned their sights on Trump and just incessantly attacked him during it and mocked him like crazy. And after that, he's like, fuck it, I'm going to be the president. And that's what he does. And now they've tried to shoot him, and they've told him that he can't be the president again and that he's going to go to prison. And so you know what he's going to do with that? He's going to win again. He's going to win again. It's what he does. I didn't see that before, but he's a very strong man. A lot stronger than people give him credit. How does he actually look better now than he did 4 years ago? He looks healthier. AK, Trump 2.0 feels different just because he's surrounded by a good group, Elon, Vivek, and others. You might not want to vote for Trump, the person, but Trump, the team. And I think he's actually a lot different. He had, almost 140 lawsuits against him over the last, 4+ years since he left the presidency. He's been attacked incessantly. And that could do a lot of things to people, but he doesn't seem like vindictive. He seems like his payback is to try and be the greatest American president in history and destroy the left. At least, the deep state, the dark cabal that runs the world. I never used to believe in that, but I mean, the globalists do want to run the world, and they live in different countries. So, I mean, they are a cabal, I guess. It's true. It's very true. Ariel, Elon on the Joe Rogan podcast was an extremely good listen. It's amazing how incredibly respected and esteemed Elon is to people like Rogan and especially Trump. Unbelievably bullish for Tesla if Trump wins. I agree so much. I mean, I'm actually starting to realize that sales will pick up in Q4 and people will get excited about the stock. It could just be an amazing multiplier for Tesla when Trump wins tonight. It could be amazing. Jeff L., morning, Jesse and all. Meta X on Palantir, given it's up this morning, would you sell? I mean, I would. I would, but I've been saying that since 20. But here, I made $600,000 off this company. People forget that. But I would personally. Manny247, you're awesome. Thank you for the 20 memberships. Guys, if you got one, please thank him. You're one of the many very dedicated people to this channel, and I appreciate you, man. But yeah, I would sell, but I've also been saying that for a while. So it's double the price of where I was saying that before. So just keep that in mind. But based on technicals alone, yes, I would. BD, Jesse, do you think there will be a post-election day dip before market? There's a lot of weirdness that can happen with the markets over the short term. I definitely think there'll be a rotation because whatever people are positioned for right now, like whatever they're positioned for, could change dramatically, right? So if people were positioned for a Kamala win and Trump wins, they're going to need to figure that shit out. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. One sec, I'm just resetting my password on Visual Stocks here. See if I can put a new one in. Try and figure out why this didn't work to begin with. Maybe I did this once before. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. All right, new password. All right. Let me put it in here again. Did it work? It worked. I'm in. Sweet. I can actually look at these. All right. Oh, take that out. All right. Over here. Let's see here. All right. Let's look at Palantir, and then we'll look at HIMS, too. Vote submitted. Let's go. Awesome. Good job, Corey. I got to do mine still. I'm going to do it after this. All right. Palantir Tech. All right. Q3. Here we go. Again, this just looks beautiful. Customer count. Government isn't really growing, but commercial is. You want to see that because it's diversification away from the government, right? It's commercial. Their commercial success looks amazing. This revenue looks amazing. Revenue per top 20 client continues to grow. Billings looks great. Cash flow at record numbers, $415 million in a quarter. This forward PE, I don't know. I think that must not have recalculated. Let me see if I can find forward PE ratio for PLTR. I'll see if I can find it here. This could be right. Guru Focus might be right. Forward PE for Palantir, it says 95.6. That could be right. As of November 5th. Yeah, okay. So it's under 100. So it's actually gotten better. Now, I don't know if that's actually counting today's price surge yet. It might not be. So it might just be right back to where it was. It might be back in the low hundreds again, which is a high number. So if they have a quarter where they don't hit, this thing's coming down. But, I mean, just they're sitting really good. Look at their operating expenses, guys. This is just a tale of profitability. Look at this. It's went nowhere. Bitcoin's back over 69. Awesome. But look at this operating expenses. Look at this. This company's revenue is just increasing like crazy, and they have no extra expense. That is a good company. And again, like this growth rate, it looks strong. It doesn't look like it's dying down a lot. The insiders keep selling. I mean, they've been selling Q3. They've been selling Q4. Probably makes sense when you have a lot of yourself invested in this company to diversify. We are seeing... Well, this is 1026, so I don't know. The short interest could be lower. It's probably going to be a lot lower after they get squeezed. That's what's happening right now. The short interest is just getting fucked on this stock. Bookend tackles just got their vote in. Awesome. Glad to hear it, brother. But look at this. Just like, again, commercial revenue segments. So you can see here for the actual revenue segment, they're still getting a ton from the government. But the segment on commercial is just doing all right. Still a ton. I mean, if you look at it the most, the growth's probably pretty split down the middle. Average revenue per customer is going down. So you can tell they're dialing down into lower parts of the market. I don't know how far down they could dial, but so far it looks good. Net interest income looks good, 52 million. Stock-based comp is not, I mean, it's 20%. It's not great. So you're still seeing let's just look over here. A lot of dilution. Hopefully that starts to taper off. I mean, not like a shit ton, but like a decent amount of dilution. So hopefully these guys can become more self-funded in the future. When their cash pile, if it keeps growing at the rate it is, they're going to be able to. But the fundamentals, I mean, or at least the financials that probably reflect some accuracy on the fundamentals, look great. Let's check out HIMSS. And we are 3 minutes away, so we might actually jump over here instead and maybe look at comments, and then we'll come back to HIMSS. Let me just get to live on this. I'll mute this for now, and we'll look at comments. Luke says, let's go Trump. I'm feeling optimistic after the Joe Rogan endorsement. Peter, you the king. Thank you. Alex Garcia, CoinGlass. CoinGlass does it too, yeah. You can see that liquidation chart level stuff there. Just Steal in Time, hit that like button. Trump for the win. Margin Vanderkloot. Jesse, are you hedging at all? No. No, I'm not. Because I think I could ride out the storm. I think no matter what, the markets end up going up. And I just don't. I don't believe she's going to win. I really don't. I think the odds are so stacked against them without cheating. And if they cheat, we still have the Supreme Court that will disseminate the truth or at least cast a verdict. And we won't have an endorsement of all the states. We already know that from West Virginia. So we won't, we can't finish the election if we cheat. So we'll just have to redo it and make it paper ballots and do it the right way and count it the same day or something. Have a national holiday. We'll have to figure something out because I don't think people let the cheat happen. Not this time. It just won't be allowed. Paul, trying to understand what you said. Would you prefer MSTU or MSTX over miners during a bull run? I don't know. I've got a little bit of all of it. I've got MSTU, I've got Cypher, I've got Bitfarms, I've got Iron, I've got CleanSpark, I've got Mara. So, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I mean, again, I think all of them give you just like a different multiplier, and it's a diversification strategy where you might not pick the perfect one, but you should hopefully get a really great multiple on average between all of them. I mean, that's why I own shitcoins too. Same thing. Hippie Hank waited 2 hours to vote early in Milwaukee, and everyone was voting Trump that I talked to. That's awesome, Hippie. Gavin24 was the turning point for you to go to Trump. Oh, I've talked about it a few times on here earlier in the stream. So it was a culmination of a bunch of things, but it's Elon buying X that started it. Freedom Options, Louder and Crowder will also have my attention for as long as I can stay awake in Europe. Satri, what do you tell your liberal friends you're voting for Trump? I'm struggling with this one. I mean, you don't have to tell them anything. I find most of them don't want to know, even though they see Punisher skull with Trump's hair hanging off the side of my Cybertruck. They don't want to know. And that's fine. Again, I don't need to change all my friends' minds. I just need people that are open to it. You definitely need to let them know if they want to know. I don't think you have to change everybody. And if they're not, and here's the deal, if you justify, why am I voting for Trump? I'm voting for freedom of speech. I'm voting for Elon Musk. I'm voting for J.D. Vance. I'm voting for Tulsi Gabbard. I'm voting for Robert F. Kennedy. I'm voting for a future where America isn't utterly indebted and the world reserve currency isn't collapsing underneath of itself because we don't have a government that's serious about reducing its size. And the money printer can't go burr forever. It's unsustainable. We're paying 23% of our budget is interest on our debt. What the actual fuck? So tell them all those reasons and many, many more. If they don't want the pharmaceutical industry controlling their lives, if they want to be healthier, they want to have better food. There's a bunch of reasons. Oh, we got the bell. Let's go back here. Just realized that. Let me get over here. We'll go back a second. I'm getting some beeps on NVIDIA.
Yeah. It's possible that someone may just say, you know what, I want that company while you guys are splitting up.
Bitcoin 69.4.
Lori Koch.
Beautiful bounce point, guys. Look at that.
Ed Breen's predecessor. I mean, Ed Breen's successor.
Successor, right?
So what do you think? What do you think about when you split into three?
It's possible.
What has been the category?
Sometimes you got to tell me what the tax basis is so I understand that ramification.
All right, so Palantir up 14.4. MSTU's in double digits, guys. 12% MSTU, guys. We're making up the shit today.
It just depends. I don't know the tax basis.
Look at that. Doge up 11%. Bonk up 9%. Optimism, optimistic. Say 6.5%. Near 6.4%. MicroStrategy, again, Render. All the shit coins are up today, guys. It's the opposite of yesterday. Voting machines are going down all over PA. I'll have to look at that in a second. Here, I'm going to hit the restroom real quick.
Yesterday, right at the 50-day.
I'm going to leave you guys with these guys for 2 seconds, okay?
I have an interesting story about bringing in risk and how hard it is to pick what you're doing. The Justice Department, Jonathan Cantor, I'd like to start at ETF for him, KNTR. Here's why. Everybody he goes after, and he's won a very big case against Alphabet, stocks have gone higher. So if you're sitting there thinking, you know what, I want to get out of these stocks because they maybe keep the same antitrust and same FTC, well, you know, don't bet against those stocks. They have, like, I know that Cantor would probably say, hey, Alphabet stock, it's been zooming and I've been hardest on them. Apple, you think I'm tough? I mean, look, the stock's over 2/3. I mean, that's it. You have to be careful.
Does it work the same on the FTC?
Yeah, really? Actually, Amazon has been the animus, and Amazon had an unbelievable quarter, and the stock went higher. So if you're them and you're hearing me carp, so to speak, about that, I think they would say, you know, Jim, look at the stocks. We go after them. We're really trying to change their behavior, but the stocks have been great, so lay off. And there's a degree of truth to that. And it's also a degree of saying, those who are saying if Trump wins, things will be better for these companies. It's been hard to be better than what Amazon has had or that last Alphabet quarter.
Right.
Oh, it can be better,
I
though.
suppose that Bezos filed a couple days ago to sell 16 million shares, and that continues.
Yeah, you know what? When Buffett sells Bank of America and Bezos sells this, there's usually a lid. The Amazon quarter was so extraordinary, there may not be a lid this time because
All right, Mark Bentley said, I sold Palantir, had my most stake in it, made a profit, have since made significant gains off of MicroStrategy and Tesla. Your fault, Jesse. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. That's a better way to be. Instead of being shitty and blaming people for your problems, it's nice to be thankful to people for the things they do for you. Not just for me, but for everybody, right? That's the way we should be. All right, let's watch markets again over here. I want to see how things are going. So Palantir again up 14. I have my peak at 50 on this thing, but again, they had a great quarter. Oh, and let's go back. We got to get to HIMS real quick here too. I was going to do that under visual stocks and just look at see how it's doing. So HIMS average order value, $147. So that's kind of cool. So subscriptions are growing. Net orders are a decent pace too. But the average order value per user is going up. And honestly, I've been using, I at least use their hair products. So I like them. They're good. So maybe they have an ecosystem here where they're building a real niche. Free cash flow, $80 million. Their best free cash flow by far, well above 47.56 the last quarter. This thing looks beautiful. The only thing I don't love is the operating expenses are just like, it's not scaling well. But it's profitable, and year-over-year revenue growth of 77% is a good number. Forward PE, it says 48, so we'll see. We'll see what that looks like. That might be recalculated now. I'm not sure. Do I have HIMS on my list? Maybe I don't. Maybe I should add it to my watch list. Let me see here. How do I add to my watch list? Do you add it down here? Do you add it up here? You must. All right. Let me click here. Ah, there we go. Let me add HIMS in there. Should probably keep an eye on it. All right, so let's sort this one, and then we'll just do this too by change percentage and not extended hours. And let's just sort. So the VIX is down today. HIMS is down today. Was there something else in their quarter that I'm not seeing? So HIMS is supposed to be so great. Why is it down 2.7%? There's got to be something in there. Maybe forward guidance was low. Again, I haven't watched it. MSTU's up 15% today, guys. 15%. What? Wow. Bitcoin's almost to 70K. Look at how beautiful this is, guys. Just look at this. Look at this. So down here, what was resistance on the weekly time frame was support, back tested all the way down here to the fib level. Bounced back up, closed above peak volumes over the last 7-8 months, going back to February, almost 9 months. Closed above that, but still had this strong resistance up here, right, in the downward trend line on the weekly time frame. And then, boom, it tested up against it again. And then, boom, over here on this next week, now, not only did we test this resistance strong, we're breaking out. Its measured move just off of this here is a new all-time high in Bitcoin's price, above $75,000. So this is just a beautiful technical. This all looks great, guys. Tesla's up 3%. Are you shitting me? Love it. Here, let's go to the heat map again and just look at that. If I can find it. You know what? I'll just select it. I got too many drinks in the way right now. There we go. What a day, guys. Looking pretty green. Wow, health technology not feeling any love today, but outside of that, not too bad at all, guys. Not too bad at all. Let's look over here at chat. I'll be up with Oak's going to be here tonight watching. Vishal, are you... I'm not hedging my portfolio. Alex Garcia. Paul, trying to understand what you said. Would you prefer... Okay, I already answered that. Hippie Hank, waited 2 hours to vote early. That's awesome. And it looks like everybody was voting for Trump. Gavin, 24. All right. Oh, so I've already read these. Oh, here we go. Tesla Future. Good morning, Jesse. First of all, happy Election Day. Second of all, have you looked at hymns? And we just did that. All right, let me keep going down here. Mr. Nasty said, great stream. Sick Sika. How can one be a first-generation American and run this country? Kamala has family in and lives part-time in Jamaica. She cannot feel the patriotism as one. And she hasn't been taught to be patriotic. She also, you guys have to remember this. Kamala Harris here's her character. She knew a man was on death row and going to be killed, but that he was innocent. She had evidence that could exonerate him, and she refused to use it until sued. She refused to release it because she didn't want it to impact her prosecution record. That is a horrible human being. Can you imagine being willing to let an innocent person die so that you look good? That's Kamala Harris. That's just one thing. She's such an evil person. If anybody's Hitler, it's Kamala Harris. So, yeah, fuck. Yeah, she's not a good person. D-Fresh, Doug is actually the person that introduced me to your YouTube channel. All he did was brag about how awesome you are. Well, then maybe I'll give him a chance. You tell me what his ID is, and I'll bring him back. I'm a little moody today. Joe Doan, do you think we'll get the result by the end of the day, Jesse? I feel like Dim is going to try to drag it out for weeks. They'll try. I don't think they can. All right, I've unblocked that guy. I don't know if I did that in chat, but I unblocked him on X. So Doug's back. But I'm not bringing back Yellen. Or the other one. All right. Jonathan Shivers, would it be difficult for Trump to repeal the IRA tax credit? I don't know. It depends on if he wants to. I think there'll probably be a ton of stuff that'll be taken away like that. I think that will be a goal. I think that would be a goal. He probably wants to take away incentives for a lot. Well, I mean, I don't know. He wants to create incentives for more energy. He doesn't want to create it for more cars to be EVs. So he's probably gonna repeal it. I think Elon's very ready for that. And you know what? That only hurts their competition. Tesla still does great. Tesla wins. Yeah, if Trump wins, Tesla's going to skyrocket. I agree, Alex. Stephen Toro, Trump literally saying virus origin, and they call him racist. Yeah, there's so much that he said that was right. Yeah, and saying that it came from China, and it did, right? And then crazily enough, they said, hey guys, there was this Wuhan Institute that was trying to create a COVID virus that was funded by Anthony Fauci. He was doing the gain of research. You know what that means? That means that he was basically trying to figure out effective ways to murder humanity with COVID. That's why he was so knowledgeable on the fucking subject. He was funding the research to make it happen to humanity. How do we not respect the truth of that? How can you be vaccinated and happy about your decision when you know that the motherfucker who told you that you had to do it was the same guy that caused it? MSTU up 17%. That's awesome. Let's keep going. Jonathan Shivers. I was going to buy Cybertruck prior to January if it seems like the EV credit will go away. It might. I don't know. Again, it depends on how aggressive he is towards repealing that stuff. I love the Tesla BTC arbitrage play over the next decade plus. It's going to be such a great way to make money. It's going to be the way to make money. Just going back and forth between those two. Sloshing back and forth. Tesla's up 3.5% today, guys. 3.5%. Wow. This is crazy. This is just nuts. Palantir up almost 19%. MSTU up almost 17%. Doge up almost 12%. I think people are getting excited. Again, this could be a volatile day. We can go back and forth a lot. Jonathan said, wouldn't it be difficult for Trump to repeal the EV tax credit? It would be if he doesn't get the House, like we were talking about. He's getting the Senate. And I think, again, legitimately, he wins the presidency. But if he doesn't get the House, it'll become more difficult. T. Hutch, could I get an unblock so I can subscribe and watch under X? I think I did. I did you already. Pretty sure you're done. Oh, maybe I didn't scroll down. I fixed you, though. Oh, I must have reset. I think I reset and went backwards. Damn it. I think Trump's got this. John Mars, Spanish government are letting people die on the floods of Valencia, not helping them while spending money with illegal immigrants. We had that same thing happening too in North Carolina. So I feel your pain, man. It's sad, right? We got people in North Carolina who aren't getting any government assistance whatsoever. The biggest help they've had, of course, has been Elon Musk. Yet again, when he's not saving our speech, when he's not trying to further humanity, when he's not trying to create GDP, when he's not trying to help blind people and quadriplegics have their lives back, he's evidently funding communications to ensure that we can help everybody that needs help in hurricanes. So, what a horrible person. Can you blame Rachel Maddow from wanting to strip him from the United States and or take his companies from him? Wow. Isn't that amazing? Bal Japal, I said, been in Tesla since 2019, slowly having accumulated 4,555 shares. I've never sold a single share. That's awesome, dude. Good job, man. Cypher's up 9%. Awesome. John Morris, Elon helped in Valencia with Starlink. Dude, he helped in Ukraine. Liberals are so quick to forget the fact that the Ukrainian government would have most likely been overthrown if Elon Musk did not turn on his satellites and start dumping Starlink satellites in Ukraine to help them defend themselves and communicate with each other, because they were being jammed with all traditional methods of communication. That was one of Russia's plans, make it to where they can't communicate. So it's pretty insane when you think about it, how much he contributes to humanity all the time. Jessica, 47, you know it. Spanish media are talking shit about Elon. Of course they are, right? Like they're a part of that. They're a part of that cabal of globalists, and they're losing too. They just don't know it yet. When America falls, when they lose their America, it's gonna get a lot better. Elon is not just a national treasure; he's a global treasure. Oh, totally. History will be kind to Elon Musk. Not a lot of people. Theo Hartstill, Sonawaki X, breaking Tesla publishes patent for adapting neural network on hardware platforms. Is this a license for FSD, other companies? Ooh, let's jump over to that real quick. Thank you for that. Let's look here. I just want to see what all we're seeing on Tesla. All of Europe currently leans left, but the tide is turning. I agree. Banana 3 had a great post too, talking about Tesla. A few of them recently. This is awesome, guys. Adapting neural network on hardware platforms. Trying to think of what that will end up being. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at the patent. Skip that. There's plenty of other people that could do that. Glad I bought yesterday. Good job, Petchy. Good job. Anything interesting happening today? Nothing too crazy. Let's go back over and see if we got more economic data. We're supposed to be getting, okay. We did get the global composite PMI final, and 54.1, lower than expected, but in expansion territory, so that's going to be good. Services, lower than expected by 0.3, but again, in expansion territory, so all that stuff looks good. The red book looked good. Imports and exports were okay. Too. They were higher than forecast? Yes. Lower than previous, higher than forecast. And then LMI logistics indicator was good too. Before an election, you'll find it hard for anybody to have really bad metrics. They can usually make those look good for at least a month or a quarter. And this applies to anybody who's in power. The next data comes out, the ISM data comes out at 10. I probably won't be around for that. I am Balshabal. I'm so psyched for Trump win, and I don't even live in the USA. This will be a huge impact. It will, man. I hope it turns out the way we think it's going to, guys, because it'll be a beautiful night if it does. And if it doesn't, then it's just more the hellhole we've been living in for over 4 years now. Dario Ferraro. Canadian media is talking shit about Trump, of course. Polar Bear will be the president or the prime minister. What do you guys have in Canada? Fuck, I don't even know. But he'll be ruling soon enough. John Mars, they did a doc on La Sexta in primetime, shitting on Elon. Surprising. Alvaro, BTC almost 70K. Yep. Alex Garcia, what can you expect from La Secta? I don't even know what La Secta is. Tesla's up almost 4% today, guys. It's going to be a good day. Let's just look at that chart. That's a good looking chart too, with that 4% move. Again, it's just like this double left shoulder, the head, the double right, almost triple right, and then we're gonna break higher. Once we get back above 270 and start turning that into support, it's just gonna be on like Donkey Kong. Again, the measured move, guys, is $400 roughly. The measured move of this is like, I should say way above that, 495. But we'll have resistance, again, like the 290-ish range once we close this gap over here. It's the last gap on the daily time frame. And then it's off to 390, 380, and then it's off to the 495 range. I'm probably all out of options by 495. That's my take. But this is all looking so good. This is all looking so good, guys. Nobody should be crying tonight. Hopefully not. Well, I mean, hopefully just liberal tears. That's what I'd like to see. Bitcoin over 70,000, 70,150. Woot woot. Looking good, guys. Ali Shahabi says, if Trump wins today, what price do you think BTC gets to? 92,000 really quickly. Really quickly. John Mars, Mark Bentley said, John Mars, what's the sentiment of the Spanish people? Most Hispanic people, especially if they've been in the country and they're legal citizens. I could say this from my own mother-in-law too, as anecdotal evidence. She came from Panama. They're resentful of illegal immigration, especially if they came here legally, because it was a lot of work, and they want they want people to come here legally, and they're conservative in their values, and they don't like the woke left, and they're voting Republican, and that's why you see a state like Florida or states like Texas doing so well. So the Hispanic vote is actually really good for Trump. And the black vote is a lot better than it used to be. A lot better. And then you got the Amish. The Amish never vote, and they're voting. So it's really good. Care, thank you for joining as a member. Appreciate you. You should be able to comment now. Mark Bentley, John Mars, what's the sentiment of the Spanish people? Oh, that was you. Sorry. Alex, you can look into it. I will look into it. I mean, I just told you, but 2024 election forecast. Donald J. Trump wins by 62.1%. I think that's Polymarket, right? Again, is that what you're seeing? Oh, let's see here. Ashley said, live in the UK, but rooting for Trump. We have a terrible government here, I know. And I just hope Trump can bring sanity to the world. Desperately needs some. Yeah, he will. He'll be able to apply a lot of pressure to Europe. Lots of it. Anthony C. Clear, BTC going on 80K. Not quite yet, but it will be. Darren, did Mark get dumped after simping? Yeah, he did. He totally did. Mark Cuban got dumped. Albert, so have you figured out what will be your go-to drink tonight? I can't really drink alcohol. My stomach doesn't take it well, so it'll probably just be boring shit. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some wine. Maybe a Stella. We'll see. In Canada, Prime Minister. That's what I thought. Yeah, Prime Minister Trudeau. That sounds right. I'll be happy not to hear that again. 2A Allen, BTC over 70. Yep. John Mars, Sexta is a progressive channel in Spain. Ah, gotcha. Sergio, I bought CLSK following your advice, but it was my decision. And even if I'm negative on it till now, I feel really thankful for your insights. Well, you're welcome. And I think that'll be really good for you soon. Wealth, BTC above 70. Yep. Okay. We're all confirming that. MetaX, can't wait for the Tesla inverse head and shoulder. Me either. Victor Hernandez, La Secta is a woke public channel in Spain. Woke crap. Funny thing is that the company that owns that channel also owns a right-wing channel. Oh, really? They play both sides? That's fucked up. Robert, pump that God candle when Trump wins. Oh, yeah, dude, it'll be up. It'll be up. And Ross Ulbricht will be released. That's going to be crazy, too. The Bitcoiners will go wild. Amid, and that's another thing. Think about this, guys. The Bitcoin vote, especially the Bitcoin vote, crypto vote too, but I think in a lesser way. But the Bitcoin vote will be in large favor for Donald Trump, too. So not only are you pulling in libertarians, not only are you pulling in people alienated by the Democratic Party, whether it be with Robert F. Kennedy or Shanahan or Elon Musk or Joe Rogan or all these people that are leaving the party, right? But then you have Bitcoin, too, that he's endorsed and that Kamala never really did. And so you just have a lot of people that hold heavy conviction are in the Tesla community, the SpaceX community, the Bitcoin community, the libertarian community, the Amish community, the black community now, I think, because they're tired of getting fucked. They've been fucked for so long, and they're waking up. And Palantir, almost 20% right now. But I think they're waking up, and I think the tide is getting ready to turn, and it's going to be wicked. It's going to be wicked, and people aren't ready for it yet. And it's going to be really hard to steal this one. Really hard to steal, guys. So don't try. Liberal tiers equal BTC fuel. Yes, sir, Robert. Do I have a price target for CleanSpark? Still under 10. Yeah, I do. In short order, it's going to go up a lot. Let's actually pull up CleanSpark. Oh, I mean, all of them are going to. But CleanSpark, if we go to 92, CleanSpark can go to 30. I know that sounds insane, but that's how this stuff works. When you've been here long enough, you realize it. But CleanSpark can go to 30, and it's under the 200 moving average right now, so it's really low. So if it goes to 30, that's a big increase. That's a big one. And again, maybe it doesn't do it right away. Just give it to spring. It's going to 30. It's going between 30 and 40 by spring. If you give yourself that enough time, you're going to be doing really good. Daniel Morales, I'm Hispanic. Most of my Hispanic friends are voting Trump. Yeah, again, Hispanic people, a lot of Hispanic people are Catholic conservatives. Okay? That's who they are. They're hardworking people. And whether they come here legally or illegally, I think we're going to end up keeping a bunch of illegal people that are working hard. Yeah, up almost 20%. Congrats, Victor. But I think we're going to end up keeping people that are like good people that have families that work hard. I don't think we'll deport them. If they can sustain themselves, we'll stop paying them and we'll stop incentivizing them to be here. But if they can make it on their own, I say if they work hard, they've got family, they make it on their own, they don't commit crimes, we're going to need them. We're going to need them for manufacturing jobs. And I think that's what the reality. Palantir just broke 20%. It's almost hitting 50. That's my max target for it. So very bullish today on Palantir. Very bullish. That's insane. Congrats to everybody, man. Like, for real. If you held on to that and you made that, I'm super stoked for you. Alex Garcia, is BTC telling us something? Yes, it's telling us Trump won. Mark Bentley, spent part of my youth in Spain. Absolutely adored it. Best horses in the world. I've never been to Spain. I want to go there. I've only been to France and Germany, but I want to go to more parts of Europe for sure. I just don't want it to be a shithole. You guys got to fix your stuff, man. Hopefully we can help. Victor, Dan, I just bought a bunch of miners. Okay. Yesterday would have been better, Victor, but hey, man. You got CleanSpark, Iron, and Bitfarms. Those are good ones. Tor Lemore says, if Trump wins, what's the first thing you'll do? Oh, man, sleep so good. I'm going to sleep so good. I might even take a day or two off. If I take a day or two off, you guys will just have to deal. But I might just need some time. Yeah. It's been a long battle, so I might need some time. I joined the Bitcoin trade a bit late and have been steadily buying to build up to a full Bitcoin in hot storage. With this next run-up, what would be a good price range to consider for re-entering after it peaks and pulls back? Usually it goes back to the previous high. So, or I shouldn't say previous high, the last trading range. So like where we are right now on this chart, let me just show real quick. This isn't Bitcoin. Let me get to Bitcoin. So here on Bitcoin, this area is going to be an amazing support area. So if we get back to it, and again, there could be things that make this cycle different, but if we got back anywhere towards like 75, I would look at it as a strong buy zone. There's so many different indicators that help you figure that out too, that could factor in changes in information, things that might be different this cycle. So stick around, but man, that would probably be a good time to re-enter right where we are right now. So that's very possible. And that would be like a 65, 66% drop. I don't even know if it goes that low this time, though. But there's going to be a bunch of things that'll tell us what to do. Andrew, surely some big votes coming. Trump's way in North Carolina and other areas hit by the hurricane. The support they received from the administration was disgraceful. I agree. It's really bad. People aren't talking about any of that anymore, but they're not getting help. J.A. Johnson, has everyone voted? I'm going to right after this. Book and tackles, grab some more BITF. He had voted. I know that. Angela Halavka. Thanks, Jesse. Been DCAing into CleanSpark close to 10,000 goal. Awesome. Good luck. I hope you make a lot of money off of it, Angela. Mark Bentley, BTC goes zoom. It's back under 70 now, but man, I think it's ready to. Albert, Lithuania media is super heavy pro-Kamala. If you say that you're pro-Trump, people look at you like you're sick with Black Plague in the Middle Ages. I think they're going to, if there's a strong mandate for Trump tonight, I think they're going to have to reevaluate, you know? I think that's what happens. I think liberals got a lot of confidence after this last election because Trump was like the bad guy, and they thought they had a mandate to kind of be fucking insane and do whatever they wanted to do and say that we should have 9-year-old boys get their nuts chopped off. I mean, some pretty stupid shit. But I think they're going to realize that they lost that mandate and that it's gone. And that just because you're a wrestler with a micro penis doesn't mean you have the right to beat women. Or I'm sorry, the boxer, that one guy, that one dipshit. Evidently, he's been examined and he is a dude with a dick. It's just not a very big one. So, but just because you're that doesn't give you the right to beat up a bunch of women. You know? I think reasonable people can agree with a lot of this stuff. If the transgender community, first off, I would like to say something. How many How many women that have turned into men in the transgender community, how many of you have enrolled in men's sports? Raise your hands, guys. How many of you are playing football with a bunch of men in the NFL? How many of you will be? None of you. You know why? You don't want to be last in fucking place in sports. And that's what would happen. You'd be right at the bottom. The only reason dudes with penises want to compete against women is because they know they can go from 47th place nationally to number 1 in the world. you know, that's it. That's it. And they get to beat up girls. And if you got a micro penis, maybe you want to. It's a good thing I don't get monetized anymore. Because I'm pretty sure everything I said was a blatant violation. Anyway, enough of that. Biological men coming into women's sports is just stupid. Yeah, you know what? You can have a transgender sport group, or you can just stick with whatever you had. If you had a vagina, that's what you get to do because that's the way your bones are made. And if you had a dick, that's what you do. You know what I mean? I think this is pretty, like, this isn't crazy stuff. It's not crazy stuff. We don't need to redefine what a man or a woman is to make people who want to make up new categories feel better about themselves. They should seek a psychiatrist, one who preferably will try and help them. And if their school is promoting young children from permanently mutilating themselves and not being able to have children anymore, then we've got a problem that needs to be fixed. And we're going to fix it. That's fucking happening today. Starting today. Mark said he loves this channel. Thank you, sir. That was before my latest rant. Can you just tell I don't care? Can you tell? Kier says, this better not be Keir Starmer. If you're in chat, motherfucker. Not to be a downer, but if Harris wins, what do you see for Elon? What do I see for Elon if Harris wins? I see them. I see X going away. I see freedom of speech going away. I see my YouTube channel probably getting blocked. I see them trying to imprison or extradite Elon out of the country, and I see them going after his companies. And I see that because that's literally what they tell us they're going to do. It's literally what they tell us they're going to do. So that's what he sees, right? That's what he sees, and that's what they say. I mean, let's just listen again real quick here, guys. It's only 30 seconds. So now that they know who Elon Musk is, we need to strip him of his companies and take away all government contracts. Why? Not for any legal reason, just because we don't like him and his political opinion.
But even if Trump doesn't win, the Defense Department and NASA are going to need a new arrangement for all their rockets and for all the multi-billion-dollar contracts Elon Musk's companies have with the U.S. government.
Isn't that great?
The U.S. government is going to have to either,
Isn't political persecution wonderful? That's how we make America great again. We take the most innovative, hardworking leaders in our country, and we destroy them because of their political beliefs don't align with ours. That's how you make America great again, guys. Vote Kamala Harris if you want to see that in your future. If you like censorship, if you don't like this YouTube channel, vote Kamala Harris. If you don't like X, vote Kamala Harris. It'll go away. If you only want to hear the opinion of the left, vote Kamala Harris. You'll only get that. If you would like to see a globalist elite of unelected leaders running the world and then telling you how you get to live it and never being able to say anything against that, vote Kamala Harris, because that's what you'll get. So yeah, if you support Elon Musk, I don't know how you wouldn't vote for Trump.
unwind from all of those contracts, or Elon Musk's companies are going to have to unwind from him. This is an
We're going to take his businesses from him.
untenable reality in national security terms. Now,
National security. Why? Because he has different beliefs for this country?
that we know what we know about Elon Musk.
Isn't that amazing? It does look like Mark Cuban. Arguably, some people say that it is Mark Cuban. Okay? And I saw another video. I don't know which one was altered. Could have been that one, could have been the other one. I'm not really sure. But it had It looked like a similar person. Let me see if I can find it here. Let's skip through this really quick. Oh, right here. Yeah. This might be the real
have
one.
with the U.S. government. The U.S. government is going to have to either, unwind from all of those contracts, or Elon Musk's companies are going to have to unwind from him. This is an untenable reality in national security terms.
Mark Cuban's such a dick. Anyway, Mark Maddow. Like, what was the dude, Bennifer? Like the Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez. Like, people get their names. That'd be great. Palantir about to break 50. Are you serious? That's gotta be a top. So, I'm afraid to say it because I'll be wrong again. But I'll give you my absolute top was $50. It's literally where I have my resistance level. But they also had a banging quarter. So I don't know, man. No promises. I can tell you this. There's so many gaps down here. It's actually a crazy amount of gaps. Considering the majority, 90% of them usually get filled, like 85 to 90%. I don't know. It's obviously, there's a lot of wind behind the sails of Palantir. And if you own it, you're probably only saying good things about it right now, as you're up 750% from down here in the $6 range when it was really, really low. So, congrats, man. Almost 21%. That's a lot. And the rest of the market, how are we still doing? How's Tesla doing? Up 4%. Wow, sweet. I don't know. I feel like we're going to start, I feel like it's up from here. Yeah, what the Flux? Flux got crushed. I didn't even look to see if it was earnings or what. Let me pull that up real quick here and see. This is the one from our boy Rex, but I don't know. I don't know if they just had a shit. Ooh, look at that. Is that the net income? No, that's the previous quarter. Did they get earnings or something? Flux shareholder alert announces stockholders with substantial losses have the opportunity to lead a class. Oh, I don't know if there's anything real here. This is just like a lawsuit company where when somebody loses a bunch of money, they sue to try and say they're misrepresenting or something. But let me see. Maybe there's more to it. Law firm announces the filing of a class action lawsuit. So it's a class action lawsuit, right? Substantial losses have opportunity. So that doesn't tell me if it's anything real, though. I don't know why they're suing. If anybody has more detail on that, let me see. Yeah, wow, it broke through support, too. If one was going to buy, this would be the time to buy. But also, probably want to do that because look at this. Look at that right there. Look at how it dropped down. 294. It should have bounced up here. And instead, it rolled over, and it's gotten all the way down to 230. It had a steep drop yesterday, too. So this is a lot in a short period of time. What is this company right now? $40 million market cap. I don't know, man. When is the earnings? The 7th in 2 days. Huh. This might be a great time to buy if the earnings are going to be good. I don't know. This might be a time to take a swing, but it's got to be a tiny amount. It's got to be a tiny amount. And there's so many other things to own. I'm just going to wait it out. It's down 90% from its high. So it's not done good. Palantir just broke 50. Holy. Oh, yeah, 50.18. Yeah. Wow, dude. That's crazy. Let's look at that chart. That is super high. That is just nuts. So that is right at the top of my bar, man. That is right there. I doubt it's going to stop here. Like I said, it could go to 80. That's the next fib. That's going to be the top. You gotta realize if you've made over 722% on this, it's actually higher than that now. If you've made 750% on this in a period of 2 years, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a lot of money. Yeah, I will take time off, Meta. I will. I'll just take at least a couple days off to chill. Might even go on a road trip. Palantir is relentless, but that's always what people say right before it's not. So we'll see. But again, if you look at the growth of this company, it's still 112 billion. The PE is high, the forward PE is high. It's definitely high. You're in the 3-digit range. But hey, man, you never know. Again, the exuberance part is the hardest part to call the top of. It's going to be the same way with Bitcoin. Even though Bitcoin's a lot easier, we have a lot of metrics that go along with Bitcoin, but it's still hard. The bottoms are way easier for me. It was way easier for me to say, guys, this is the bottom right down here in the $7 range, and that this is an inverse head and shoulder, that the company, after looking into it, was really valued cheaply, that we'd had bullish divergence that went all the way from February 2022 all the way to that time to May of 2023. So we had 15 months of bullish divergence from a technical standpoint on the weekly time frame. And so it was really easy to be like, this thing's oversold and it's going to rocket. And it was really easy to ride that into like the 15, 17, up near 20. And then I just had to be out. And then it's just been in the opposite direction. Now we've been going vertical. This is like, when you're looking at this, again, maybe we go to 80. But when you look at this, this is the definition of a market cycle. And it doesn't have to be that way if the fundamentals always override. But from a technical level, it looks miserable. And there's going to be so many other opportunities out there. I'm going to keep saying that. I could be wrong. Again, technicals are the least important part, guys. I sold out my Palantir at 37, and I'm not sad about it. I rebalanced Jesse style. Nothing goes up forever. Yeah, and again, the same thing with Bitcoin, guys. I think Bitcoin can go to 285. I'm still going to be like mostly out by 150, probably. I'll be completely out of all leverage plays. Probably like at 120, 140. And by 150, 180, I'm going to be outside of my physical holdings that I add to every cycle. I'm going to be out. Like, I'm going to be moving on to other stuff. I'll lock in profits and diversify. Just how I do it. Not everybody trades or invests the same, but that's what I do. Dude, I'm up 25,000 today, Victor Hernandez. Congrats. I haven't even looked at what I am. I'm assuming it's all right. Let me pull this over real quick. And then let's look over here. 9:13 a.m. We don't have more data till 10. Palantir's at 50.44, up almost 22%. That's phenomenal. It's still, though, it's got to go up more. Otherwise, it has a bearish divergence that's been forming on the weekly. If you look over here, guys, here, we'll just do this. If you look over here, right here, if it doesn't get up higher on the weekly time frame, then we've got our first bearish divergence building up at a time where the MACD is almost like off the charts. And the MACD, if we look here, let's see how this looks. There is, yeah, that's lower too. So this lower, so lower or not very deep, lower, lower, lower. So we've really got a bearish divergence roughly that has been going on for a long time on the weekly time frame, May of 2022. So we've still got May of 2022, we've got this divergence still trying to pull us down at a time where the MACD is through the roof and we're near one of the highest weekly RSIs in the history of this company. And the monthly is at over 80. The monthly. That is about as long of a time frame as you can look at. But, you guys do you. Again, if the company can really perform and keep 30, 40% growth, if they can keep 40% growth or near it, get something close to that range, then this thing can maintain for longer. But I just don't know, man. Yeah, it's going bananas. It's really high. This is like, if you look at a market cycle, this is like the euphoria stage. Let's just look here. And again, it doesn't mean it can't go higher. It could. Let me see. Typical market cycle. There we go. So again, if we just look at this here, you have disbelief, which I would argue is down in the 6 range, right? The 6 and 7s. Just nobody believes in anything anymore. Then you have hope when it starts to climb. I think Palantir transitioned into hope really quickly. Once it got up to here, people are like, "Fuck, we're already at $15, dude. We're set." And then it's just never let go. It's just went straight up. And now its curve is like, if we look at the monthly time frame, let's just look at this. Look at this. This is the definition of parabola. And and maybe it goes all the way up here. Again, maybe it goes up to 80. It could do that. But how much more upside is that? You've already made 751 if you bought at the bottom, right? And if it goes to $80 and becomes like 160, 70, well, let's see, probably even more than that. No, this is a 64% increase. So if it becomes closer to a $200 billion company, it will be at $80 and you'll get another 63% in gains. Hey, glad to hear that, Ragster. Happy to have you here, man. But yeah, so again, it's just like, and here's the problem. Tom Nash, Amit, Arnie, all these Palantir guys that are really, really hard into this and that are very, very deeply invested into it, they'll be bullish at 80. And maybe they should still be bullish now. It's up 22% in a day. That's not the time where I'm bullish. Definitely not a time where I'm buying. I'll tell you that. Definitely not a buy zone here. But it could go to 80. I mean, if you just look here, just look at this. You see this consolidation zone here? Like, just look at this. If we just go from here to here, just this measured move, and then add it to kind of where it started breaking out over here. Again, it can go to 80. It could do that, right? If we made this green, it looks very balanced. But at some point, if you guys aren't dialing it out at all, I mean, the CEO of the company is dialing out. So I don't know what to tell you if you're not dialing out at all. Let me look at my count here real quick, though. It's already almost 9:30, getting closer. I'll look at my main account, and it is smaller, guys. I did move stuff over to Robinhood. I moved over about 400K. So it is smaller than it was. But I'm kind of scared of Palantir. This is going, yeah. Victor, it's like dating a supermodel. Don't know how to act. Funny. Manny247, I got the champagne ready for Trump win. Sweet. I do too, actually. I should bust out the champagne. Mark Bentley, Jesse, whenever this pops and we're flush, I challenge you to meet me in Pamplona for a Fiesta del San Fermin. We'll have a blast. Get a little bloodied. All right, cool, man. I don't know what that is. What do you mean by bloodied? If it's like some bull race thing, fuck no. If it's anything like that, the answer is no. No. Otherwise, yes. I'm down for other stuff, not that. Time to buy Teladoc for the BetterHelp play. I don't know. I haven't followed that enough. It's on my list. So I'm up about 200K today. It looks like Tesla is a decent stint of that. 13%, guys, is what we're up on Tesla. I'm going to have to grab more coffee in a second here, too, is what we're at on Tesla on these options. So that's doing real good. Palantir or PayPal, it looks like is okay. CleanSpark's coming up today. Hood, yeah, great. Tesla, Hood, PayPal, and CleanSpark, all these leverage plays that I'm in are doing really good. ArcG still suffering, not looking to buy into that right away. So that doesn't matter too much. I'm gonna grab some coffee. I'm going to get you guys back over here real quick since I'm drinking all my drinks. And I will be back in 2 seconds. Let's make sure we have actual live video. We do not. Let me go back a little bit.
How tech could fare under either.
All right, we'll give you a couple minutes of these.
Another, telling trade that we need to keep an eye on here. And, all of them kind of, if you look at the 20 in total, they're all giving you mixed reads on the setup going into this, which is what's made the past month's trading so interesting. We're arguing that you've seen it less in equities in terms of potential election outcomes, but where you've seen this Trump trade unfold has been more in rates, in currency, and potentially in gold.
Is the consensus that you sell a Donald Trump rip and you buy a Harris dip?
That's our view. Okay, now the spin here is pretty straightforward when you think about it. In our view, the S&P 500 is fairly valued around current levels. You're 24 times trailing, 22 times forward.
And what we're getting at here is that we understand that there's the animal spirits that come with Trump, more pro-business, got that. But your starting point is a fairly extended valuation circumstance that's predicated on very strong earnings growth, follow through into 2025. Our concern is that with that setup, you go into a Trump win and you introduce tariffs into the discussion. Now, to the earlier point on supply chain constraints, we've got something similar to that unfolding. And so what ends up happening is that the 25 growth expectations, we think, become a bit more suspect as we navigate tariff actions.
So you're tying supply chain disruptions, or I guess linearity to tariffs.
It's the same sort of impact, right? We have to start looking at every company in terms of its cost of goods sold or its path through, what they're going to be able to.
Tonight, we will be watching the election. We'll be looking at the best sources. We'll probably hop into the All In podcast and watch them for a bit, talking about the election. We'll be monitoring the results, trying to figure out who's ahead. So if you guys want to see a pretty banging election event and one where Trump wins and we see just an historic moment and celebrate together, check it out. I'm not sure exactly what time I'll be starting. I'm probably going to start about the time that any coverage starts. So it might even be like 6 o'clock Central Time. It's pretty early, but I want to be here. I want to be here for the whole thing. I want us to talk. I want us to be a part of a community riding this out together. So we're going to be doing that. My wife also told me, though, that I need to go vote. So I think I'm going to probably drop. We're about 2.5 hours in here, guys. Please, to God, make sure you vote today. If you've got people younger than you, older than you, and you have any sway with them on their political views, get the or just let them know what you're doing, man. You don't even have to have long conversations. Just let people know what you're doing and who you're voting for. And if they ask, tell them why. Just tell them that you want freedom of speech. You like the people supporting Trump. That you want a world that reminds you of what you grew up with. If you've lived in America for a long time, when we were kids, we loved our country. We pledged allegiance to the flag. We had a sense of like a combined love for freedom and democracy and the things that we stood for, even if we didn't always do the right things. I mean, every country is flawed, right? We've definitely got problems. There's probably been a deep state running this one for a very long time, but we don't want it anymore. We want freedom. We want our lives back. We don't want to be drugged out by the pharmaceutical industry. We don't want to be starting wars to help somebody's profit margins. We want to live in a world where we look towards the future and we believe in beautiful things can happen, and we like it when 20-story buildings that weigh 250 tons are being caught while plummeting back to earth by these little arms called Mechazilla. We want a brighter future. We want to see humanity succeed. If you want those things, vote and tell people that's why. So if you guys want to hang out later, let's do it. Otherwise, I think I'm going to call it right here. And again, just thank you guys for all the support on the channel. I really appreciate you guys. And I'll see you tonight. I think it's going to be around 6 o'clock. I hope you have a great day in the meantime. And again, just focus on the end game. Have a long-term vision. I think it's going to be all right. Love you guys. Peace out.